Hey everybody, come on in the room. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Come on in. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 15, Reunion Part 2. And guys, I have a lot to say. I couldn't wait. I said I have to do a Sunday live. It's an emergency. That Part 2 had me livid. We have a lot to discuss. Bows, it's going to be just a lot of Bo's whackings along with Kyle. Everybody's getting it. Sutton, when it came to you and Garcelle, when Andy brought that up, you tried it. When I tell y'all I'm going in on this good Sunday, Bo's embarrassed herself. She did embarrass herself. Okay, so first of all, y'all are so sweet. Thank y'all for wishing me a happy early birthday. My birthday is on Wednesday, May 6th. Thank you so much, Chaim Inc., for the super chat. I appreciate that. Happy early birthday, Brooke. Thank you. Be blessed, stay beautiful, and unbothered. You already know. Thank you so much, Chaim. I appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Y'all are so sweet. Yes, honey. When I tell y'all, I had to get on here because y'all know y'all will not be seeing me for the later half of this week. So I had to hop on here right now and talk to you today about Beverly Hills. Boz, Sutton, Kyle, Erika, everybody worked my last nerve. Boz, it's going to be you and I. And Boz, you said something later on in this episode that let me know that not only are you watching YouTube, you're watching all of us. When you made that comment, and I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about, when she cut in during Kyle's segment and brought up her and Keely and what we're saying about that, I said, oh, you are watching. You are watching. And Boz, let me just say this. It's above us now. If you want to sit up there and put your head in the sand and be a fool for love, then so be it. But it's clear that you're watching and you're upset with us and what we're saying. But girl, go ahead. If you think that you're the exception to the rule, after watching Kelly Clarkson, Wendy Williams, Mary J. Blige, Halle Berry, so on and so forth, then go be my guest. We're going to talk about that later on. But Boz, you worked my last good nerve. And then you trying to clap back on Instagram, clapping back at Andy because you're mad at him now. Girl, get off this show then. You obviously cannot handle the critiques of being on this show. And for you to play the victim in all this, when you started the whole thing with Amanda, it's like you feel like you're above reproach. How are you above critique when you started this whole thing in the first place? But Boz, it's such a fall from grace because I actually did like you last season, but then towards the end, I was kind of over you. But this season, you have completely left such a horrible taste in my mouth. If you don't have a storyline, if we're being honest, you don't bring anything to the show, if we're being very honest. But yeah, I can take you or leave you. That's where I'm at with it. Listen, honey, she is big mad at us. She is, when she made that comment in the second part, I said, oh, she's real mad. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, you know what then? I'm not going to say anything more about it then. If she wants to be stupid because she's in love, then so be it. Is giving this is her last season? I think so. There was a lot of victim playing on this episode. I agree. Listen, y'all, trying to make it like he was questioning her based on race. I didn't like that. I did not like that. And listen, I will always call out if there's racism, colorism, whatever ism, but this is not that. And for those who are trying to spin this like it is a race thing, we're not going to do that. Boz started this entire mess with Amanda first. Amanda has every right to clap back at Boz. You can't start it and then say, oh, how dare you come after me because I'm Black. If Boz are on a Black franchise, Atlanta or Potomac, the same thing would happen. We would not be saying anything about, oh, it's a race issue. You can't start with somebody for no reason and then get mad when they clap back at you and they clap back harder. That's what this is. And Boz, you took no ownership for the things that you've said about Amanda. Period. End of story. I'm not doing this. I'm not. The same way folks got mad at Garcelle, they felt like Garcelle played the race card. I'm not sitting up here. I'm not doing this with Boz. I'm not doing it. Listen, she did not have Garcelle's back. She sure didn't. Bose was reaching, jumping, aggressive straws with Amanda. She sure was. Bose was getting on my nerves. The way she treated Garcelle was racist undertones. Yes. She's sitting up there laughing and kikiing with Erika on when Garcelle announced her departure. And Erika went on Watch What Happens Live, and she was like, "Oh, won't he do it?" And you have Bose laughing, slapping five with Erika like it was the funniest thing in the world. You didn't have Garcelle's back. You were sitting there saying, well, you playing mean girl with Miss Erika Jane, but now when Andy and Amanda get on you, now it's, oh, how dare you? And as a Black woman, you don't do that. Excuse me? Where was all that for Garcelle? And at the end of the day, regardless of Garcelle or not, this point still remains, Bose is in the wrong. She started this whole mess with Amanda, and Amanda finished it. You cannot tell somebody how to react after you start with them first. That's the end. It's the long and the short of it. Period. Bose really thinks that she's in the in crowd. Exactly, she does. She does. Let me tell you something. Bose really pissed me off. Y'all, let's get into it. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to get through this recap because I have so many thoughts. So we start off this part 2 with the continuation of Bose and Amanda going at it. So Bose is like, when the hell did I tell you that I was losing money on my business? Bose, take that bass out of your voice. Who are you cursing at? And on top of that, Bose, like I said, you started with Amanda. What's not clicking here? So they're going back and forth about that. Amanda says, when we were in the vineyard in Italy, you said that. So Bose wants to play semantics about that. We talked about that in the last episode. So Dorit chimes in and says, well, Bose is giving back. And Bose says, yeah, it's not a failure. I said, oh, that really struck a nerve, didn't it? So it was okay to call her a cult leader and a scammer and a con artist. When she hits back at you, now it wasn't a failure anyway, and I'm doing this for free. Girl, if you were doing those courses for charity, wouldn't the courses be free? If this is out of the goodness of your heart, wouldn't these courses be free? You're full of it. You're just trying to save face now because they did not make money. Folks weren't buying the courses. That's it, and that's all. And you're sour grapes at the fact that people are paying thousands for Amanda's courses and they couldn't pay $100 for yours. That's it. Please. Thank you. It's not a failure, but it's also not philanthropy. Exactly. Bose, I don't see it for you. That's the long and the short of it. So now, Andy reads Bose's comments about how Bose said that Amanda walked away from a cult just to build one herself. Nasty work. So Andy's asking Amanda, what's her response to that? So Bose is sitting up there, yeah, I did say that. Time out, flag on the play. So it's okay for you to say that she started a cult of her own and that she's a cult leader and a scam artist, but when she claps back at you, now it's a problem. I'm confused. Somebody please let me know that I'm not going crazy, because I did watch this season, as horrible as it was. I did watch every single episode, all 18 episodes, and I remember Bose making those nasty remarks. So it's okay for you to say that she's a cult leader, but when she claps back, now it's a problem? Where do we do that at? And I'm trying not to get upset because it's Sunday, it's the Lord's Day, but I'm really getting my patience with Bose is really wearing thin because she's playing in people's faces, and I don't like it. And this mean girl behavior, it doesn't suit you, Bose. It really doesn't. Yes, she looks so foolish. She really did. She is the next target. Oh, for sure. If Lisa Rinna comes back next season, if Miss Lisa Rinna comes back, Bose is out of there. Bose is two-faced and hypocritical. She sure is. Yes, honey, she pissed me off so bad. So bad. So now, and Amanda says, the thing about a cult is you lose your autonomy, you're controlled, you're isolated, you're encouraged to not think for yourself. Whereas with my business, it's the polar opposite. I encourage women to think for themselves. So Bose is frowning, making faces like, oh, like, what is she talking about? Girl, again, Bose, you are lucky, you are blessed that Amanda is not really quick at the mouth, because had this been somebody else, they would have cursed you or they would have read you for filth. You are so blessed that Amanda isn't confrontational like that, and she refuses to give you that rise, because if this was somebody else more reactive, you would have gotten it. You would have been read all the way down had this been somebody else. So now, first of all, I was surprised that Andy did not press Bose on apologizing for that cult comment. That was really weird to me. So now, Amanda says, I don't know what Erika was saying, because Erika chimes in saying, well, it's a thin line that we could wiggle that. I don't know what she meant by that. I said, Erika, please be quiet. It's Amanda's segment. We don't need your 2 cents. So now Bo says, you encourage people to think the same way about a concept of how they manage their money. So Amanda says, look, the whole idea of manifestation, that's a very small part of my business. It's not the whole pie. So Bo says, but all you talk about is money. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if memory serves me correctly, when you first joined the show last season, Bose, you were talking about how you're a badass Bose. I'm a boss. I make money. I do all this. My coins. Were you not talking about money as well? Let me know, unless I've forgotten, unless my memory has failed me, which I know it hasn't, let me know in the comments. When Bose first joined last season, her first season on the show, was she not talking about how she was a badass in marketing? She's a CMO, CEO, CFO, making all this money. Was she not talking about how she was a boss every other episode? So it's okay when you do it, but when she does it, now it's a problem? How dare you? How dare you? I said, girl, Bose, I don't need to see Bose come back. I really do. Okay, thank you. Everybody on the show talks about money. She did. It said that even a checked out Amanda can read Bose down. Bose looked dumb as hell. Didn't she buy her daughter a luxury car? I'm not mad at it, but Bose is nuts. Amanda calls herself the money queen. Of course, they'll talk about money. Exactly. Thank you. She sure did. And she still discusses her money. The fact that she's been inducted into the Marketing Hall of Fame, and that's nothing. But she is weak sauce as hell. I want Bose to try my girl Brooke so Brooke can drag her to the pits of hell. Bose came on as a girl boss. She sure did. Bose is all about money. Won't he do it, Bose? Exactly. She called herself badass Bose. She sure did. She would not shut up about her corporate jobs. Yes. The first scene that she was in, when she met Dorit, she said, hi, I'm retired. I was in corporate America for 25 plus years. I did Pepsi. I did this. I was responsible for Beyonce at the halftime show in 2013. She went down her whole entire resume. So it's okay for you to talk about your resume, but somebody else does it. Now it's a problem. Okay. And I wish that Amanda would say that. And I'm surprised that Angie did not say, no, Bose, that's kind of unfair for you to say, because when you first joined the show, you were also on that type of time too. But okay. So anyhow, Amanda says, Amanda had me screaming. She was like, well, yeah, I do talk about money and praise God for it. So now Bose is like, how are we supposed to know each other when all we know is your business? It's giving hater. Because if we're being honest, Bose, we don't know that much about you. All we know about is Keely and how you were in corporate America for 30 plus years. That's all we know about you. Let's talk about you and your upbringing. We don't know that much about you, ma'am. So what are you talking about? All we know about is your business, but we don't know anything else. Well, the same could be said about you. So now Amanda says, all that I do is to help women make money. So now Andy's asking if Amanda's published her book about being in a cult. And Amanda says, not yet. I just finished chapter 6 last week. So now Erika says, did you name a chapter after me? And Amanda says, no, I didn't. You're not in the book. Erika, it's clear that you are nervous about your spot on the show. For you to keep jumping in during other people's segments to ask about yourself and insert yourself, it was really embarrassing. Why would Amanda be writing about you? You had nothing to do with her being in the cult. I said, baby, you want attention so bad. And I'm not going to hold you, Erika, but it was giving Sutton behavior. You were giving Sutton levels of desperation at this reunion, and I was cringing for you. I said, damn, how the mighty have fallen, because Miss Mamas is making sure that she gets back on for next season. It's clear that your belly's hitting your backbone. Those checks are light, that bank account's on E, and you're kind of nervous about where you stand on this show because the constant insertion was really bothering me. I said, girl, shut up. It's not about you right now. It was weird. Yes, it was every 5 seconds. It was driving me insane. She had nothing going on, so being weird, the weird fight with Dorit. Exactly. Hey, Leonardo Decapitated, thank you for the super chat. Bo said, if I say it, I won't own it, but if you dream it, you can own it. Buy my cassettes. Oh, no. I am screaming. Not buy my cassettes, honey. Oh, my gosh. Y'all have me in tears. Yes, honey. The bill collectors are calling. They really are. She needs to go and comfort Tom in jail. So now Andy points out that a few viewers felt like she had different stories about how she left the cult. Amanda says, never. The story's the same. I left the church that night. I went home, got my things, came back to the church in the middle of the night, and I left. That's it. That's all. So now Sutton interjects and says, well, if we want to make this into a Lifetime TV movie, we got to beef it up a little bit. You know, we got to lock you in a room or something. They all start laughing. I said, excuse me? So is that how you speak about somebody who was in a cult? That's not funny to me. That's the fact that they really don't respect her because you're laughing at somebody's trauma and pain. It's one thing if Amanda made a joke like that, but for you to make a joke like that, that's out of order. And girl, I would have cursed you out for that. Because what do you mean you want to minimize my pain? Talk about, oh, we can make it into a Lifetime TV movie. That was so nasty. How dare you? I'm sure if somebody made a joke about your upbringing with Reba, I'm sure you wouldn't be too happy about that. But now you want to joke saying, oh, if we want to turn this into a TV movie, let's beef it up, lock you in a room, have you starving. Girl, what? And they all sat there and laughed. I said, oh, that's real nasty. Sutton, again, you wanted attention so bad on that couch. I said, absolutely not. Listen, wait, hold on. Because hold on. Because that kind of comment warrants somebody going that low. Because had somebody said that about she would have been on the floor in a fetal position sobbing. You want to play that? Okay, let's go round for round. Let's go band for band then. You want to talk about, okay, I can bring up that then that happened to you in your family. That was nasty. We see each other. That was real nasty work. So now Amanda says, my editor made me really dig. So Erika's like, wait, what editor? I thought you were all self-made. You were self-made everything. So Bose is like, oh, I said, Bose, all this extra stuff, you being the peanut gallery was really driving me crazy. Girl, be quiet. You just want to find fault with Amanda. So now Amanda says, well, every self-publisher has to hire an editor. Every writer has to have an editor. So now Andy brings up the Italy trip. Andy says, in Italy, Sutton had an issue with Dorit doing a deep dive on Amanda's history. But Sutton, a few years ago, you earned the nickname Fancy Drew because of your tendency to dig up people and what's going on in their lives. Is that hypocritical? So Sutton says, who have I done a deep dive on? So when I tell you, Erika was like, girl, you effing kidding me? So now Erika, she's obviously bringing up what happened with her and Tom. And though Sutton says it was in the LA Times, for goodness sake. So I love how Dorit did call Sutton out. Dorit said, oh, really, Sutton, you want to play this game? Do you remember when you were at my house? Or no, I came to your house a few months ago, and you were telling me how you did a whole deep dive on Amanda, and you were going to even buy one of her courses. And so we see the flashback of a few months ago, and Sutton makes a joke saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to sign up for her courses because I want to make $500,000 every month. And they both laughed at it. Sutton, the way you were backpedaling, you were like, oh, well, it was a joke. It was a joke. Girl, don't even that. That's why I was so annoyed when you were trying to act like you were on Amanda's side all of a sudden, because you know that you were talking about the girl. Now all of a sudden you were on her side. That was so fake to me. And I'm so glad that Dorit called you out. You are so phony. She is such a loser. She is, honey, listen, I was here for it. Dorit had her gagged. So it was like, no, well, it was a joke. It was a joke. I said, oh, okay. I said, sure, Jan, sure. To to be honest, she didn't say anything crazy, but she still lied. She was making a joke about she wanted to do a deep dive on the business, and she was still talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy a course. It's not the point about her saying something crazy, it's the fact that she did lie. She was trying to do a deep dive on Amanda. So it's just like, my thing is just be honest. Just be honest. They're all losers at points. They are. We see each other. So now we see Dorit saying, you do a deep dive on everybody in this group. So even Erika says, Sutton, don't play the semantics game. You do. So now Dorit goes on to say, and by the way, Sutton, you let me know that Amanda took out a $2 million loan before filming. So Sutton's like, excuse me? So now Amanda says, girl, I've never done that. There is no loan. And now Sutton says, well, somebody gave me that information. Again, you've been deep diving as well, Sutton. Don't try to change the story up now. So now Erika says, well, honestly, I would love to be able to take out a $2 million loan for myself. I said, girl, we know that. We know you would. Also, Erika, once again, I need you to stop interjecting into every conversation. Just sit there, please. You wanted attention so bad. So now Amanda was even getting annoyed. She says, look, guys, it's still my package. It's still my segment. Can we talk about me? It's not about y'all. So now they all start laughing about that. And now Andy is asking Amanda, how does she feel seeing Erika and Erika ask ChatGPT about her and her business? Amanda says it bothered me. She says, we all know that ChatGPT pulls from Reddit. We all have had bad things said about us on Reddit. So now Andy calls out Boz reading her ChatGPT with a favorable read. And Andy says, goes on to ask Boz, when Amanda asks you about ChatGPT and about, what happened, what the skepticism about your short tenures at major corporations, what was your response to that? So of course, Boz is rolling her eyes, upset. And Boz says, the first thing I thought of, well, I don't know what kind of review she's reading. Boz, there's a lot being said on the internet about you and your short tenures at these companies. So don't act like you're so confused as to how she got that, okay? She has the same Google that we all have. We've all seen the things written about you. I've seen a lot of people say that you're a lot of sizzle, but no substance. That's what I've read from multiple people on different message boards about you and your time at all these corporations. And it's not a knock to you. You've been a heavyweight in the game, but a lot of people have said that you're a lot of sizzle, but no substance. Okay. So now she says, you seem to think that we were looking at bad reviews of Amanda Francis and that wasn't the search. Boz, are you effing kidding me right now? We saw y'all. You guys were in the Sprinter van in Italy. You and Erika both had a good old key and a cackle about how Amanda is a fraud. You guys typed into ChatGPT. You were foaming at the mouth saying, oh yeah, well, ChatGPT says she's a fraud. And look at her. People don't like her stuff and she won't refund people. You and Erika were both getting so much glee out of reading the bad reviews about her. So for you to act like it was all an innocent fun, that's a lie. You couldn't even say it with a straight face because you knew that you were lying. I said, Boz, this is a really sad way to go out. You can't even take ownership. I would have more respect for you if you would say, you know what? And you know what? Let me just say this. I can respect the villains on these shows because somebody like Giselle Bryant would say, girl, I looked you up because I don't like you. I wish the worst for you. One thing about Giselle and Potomac, Giselle stands in being the villain. If you want to play the villain role, Boz, own it all the way. But for you to say, well, it was all an innocent fun. It wasn't anything bad. Yes, it was. You don't look up bad reviews because you're trying to find the good in the person. You obviously want to bash them. We're not idiots. You're talking to us like you're the smartest one in the room, Boz, and that's your issue. You talk in corporate HR language 24/7. You never turn that off. On top of that, you view the audience as idiots, and we're tired of it. You think that you can word salad your way out of it. You can do that in the boardroom, but here in real life on Bravo, it's not going to work. Who are you trying to play? Like, who are you trying to fool? It was embarrassing. Yes, Giselle stands by her wicked ways. Exactly, she does. I agree. She talks down to Amanda and their audience. One thing about Giselle, she would tell you to your face she dislikes you. Exactly. Yes, she does. She does. Y'all, we all see each other, y'all. We all see each other. Yes, she throws rocks and hides her hands. Damn. You not ashy, child. Yes, she does. Bose is very condescending. I agree. So now, Bose says, if anybody knows anything about being a CMO, you understand that the tenure of a CMO is that they're very short. Andy had me screaming. He was like, they are? Really? Since when? Andy hit her with that, baby, the CMOs over at NBC Universal, they've been with us for 10 plus years. He was like, girl, where did they do that at? Because I had no idea. So now, Andy goes on to ask, really? I thought it was for a longer amount of time. So Bose says, well, it's intention to be for a long time, but a lot of times the failure of the company falls on the CMO. Now, Bose, I just want to stop right here. I don't know if y'all saw this. Bose did a clapback video at Andy. First of all, Bose, this video is 2 months too late. Y'all filmed the reunion in March. Where was all this energy at the reunion? You're saying this now. I'm gonna play the video for y'all. Shout out to No Chaser TV. He put the clip up on his page, and I'm playing it right now for y'all. Okay.
Come here. I'm calling you to the front of the class. Okay. Did you really make this face? When we were at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion and we're talking about this,
CMO job is
a short tenure job.
It is?
Yeah.
It's not meant to be for
It is intention to be a long time, but what happens is that a lot of times the blame of any company's failure or its, issues with the stock falls on a CMO.
Now, I know you couldn't have meant to have a skeptical look, right? Because there have been plenty of white papers and think pieces that have been written about the tenure of the CMO and the high pressure job that it is. So even though you decided to double down with this, I'm going to believe that you were simply unaware. But now you're aware. Okay, now everyone, while I have your attention, I don't want us to be distracted by this debate about whether or not I can keep a job, okay? But by the way, do you really think that billion-dollar businesses would keep hiring a CMO who has a failing track record? No. Okay? And do you think I'd be placed in not one, but 2 Hall of Fames if I didn't do anything? No. Okay? So it's not an accident or by happenstance, all right? And let me just say the quiet part out loud, which I didn't say at reunion. Of the approximately 329 to 346 Fortune 500 companies who have a senior marketing leader in the C-suite, only 1% of those CMO roles are currently held by a Black woman. 1%. That means if we take the high number, let's say 346 CMO roles, that means 3 or 4 of those roles are filled by someone who looks like me. And oh, by the way, I know them personally. That's how small the circle is. So I hope that everyone who was skeptical is now aware of the disparity, the challenge, and the incredible amount of fortitude it takes to achieve, all right? And even though I chose to retire from corporate life, I want everyone to be aware that more than 300,000 Black women have been forced out of the workforce, not of their own volition. It is outpacing all other factions of the population. Even though Black women continue to outpace all other factions in education. Do you really think that this sounds fair? How can it be? So if you really want to debate who can and cannot keep a job, let's actually talk about that. And let's find a solution. So in closing, I quote from the great American poet, Lil Wayne.
Oh my gosh, y'all. When I tell y'all, I can't. I really can't. I couldn't play the rest of the video because it's a Lil Wayne song. Nobody's trying to get a copyright strike, okay? But I think just really corny. Yes, I was highlighting all your comments as the video was playing. I agree with all of y'all. I think that, like one of y'all said, you've already lost when you have to keep coming on Instagram with these clapback videos. I'm tired of it. And none of Bose's clapback videos on Instagram, none of them have worked. It just shows how bothered and how pressed she is. At the end of the day, like you, I want to read your comment because you hit it on the head. You, Bose, you called Amanda a scammer. You said she built a cult, so she can get questioned, but you can't. Exactly. This is hypocrisy at its finest. And for those of y'all who are hopping on the Bose bandwagon, saying, "Oh, I'm here for Bose clapping back," at the end of the day, the point remains: she started this whole thing with Amanda. Amanda has every right to come after her now. Who does Bose think that she is, where she can say what she wants to say, but nobody can say anything to her? That's wild to me. Listen, honey, it made absolutely no sense. Thank you. She sure did. Caught up on her own words. Didn't she say you can't control reaction of others while constantly criticizing Amanda on the way she reacts? Exactly. The clapback at Andy was not it. Yep, Andy holds a grudge. He sure does. Bose is going out sad. I hate how she played the race card. I do too. That wasn't warranted at all. Nobody said anything about is her being a Black woman. It was none of that. That is so bogus to me. It's ridiculous. The videos don't land at all. At all. And he didn't. Andy was confused, like the majority of us were confused when it came to the whole CMO talk. They only have short tenures. Bose, if you're so sensitive about your time as a CMO, then it would be in your best interest to not come after other people about their careers. And this is giving me that these rumors about you and your time as a CMO are true. Because if you actually were that girl and you had really, killed it as a CMO, you wouldn't care what anybody said about you. But the fact that you need to clap back every minute is giving very pressed. It really is. Yes, quiet as a church mouse at that reunion, very much so. Bose always talks about her Blackness as a receipt. Bose needs this job for Keely's lunch money. Oh my gosh, you said her pink slip is coming. So now, back to the reunion. Amanda says, I understand that. I don't have a criticism of that. I was just reading what ChatGPT wrote about you. So Bose says, but you were reading it in a way that criticized me. The same thing that you did to Amanda. What's not clicking through your pea brain? Bose, are you insane? No, Bose, I really have to ask, are you well? Are you daft? Are you daft? Because I'm confused as to how you can fix your lips and say to her, you had it trying to criticize me when you did the same thing to her. When you read off of ChatGPT about her, you were doing the same thing. Were you not? No ownership whatsoever. No ownership. I was floored. So now Kyle jumps in and says, why are we saying anything to hurt anybody's business? Dorit says, well, you opened that door, didn't you, Kyle? We should all be supporting each other. So Andy's asking, what business did Kyle not support? And Dorit says, my book release. The only venture that I've had since the home invasion in the last 5 years. So now Kyle brings up 10 years ago when Dorit first came on the show, when they were friends. Kyle's like, I'm sorry, Buca de Beppo, your tanning creams, your bathing suits, the wedding dresses, really? I was supportive then. So Dorit says, girl, let's not go back 10 years ago. Let's talk about right now within this last decade. So Kyle says, it's called history, Dorit, and now they start going at it. Dorit says, once again, Kyle, I'm talking about my first business venture in recent years, not 10 years ago. So now Kyle says, and when it comes to your book, it wasn't even the book, it was a picture. It was the cover of your book. So Dorit says, once again, Kyle, you open up that door of not supporting. So now Kyle reads her text to Dorit the day that she declined going to her book release party. And she said, I can't go. I would love to be there. We'll talk soon. Hopefully you'll be at Alexia's wedding, all that stuff. She says Dorit texted her back saying, oh, I get it. No problem. Good luck. Well wishes. We'll talk another time. I'll see you at the wedding. Now, hold on. If I remember quite clearly, at the season 12 reunion, you were angry at Dorit because Dorit read text messages out loud and she read them to Erika. You said that was a violation. So it's okay for you to read your text messages between you and Dorit, but when she does it, it's a problem. Okay. Again, the hypocrisy when it comes to Kyle Richards is glaring. It is glaring. So now Kyle says, you were fine with me canceling. But it wasn't until you had the conversation with Boz at your party that you were on the bandwagon of you were upset that I didn't come. So Andy's like, well, did Kyle misread your tone in that text? Dorit says, yes, because I was hurt. So Kyle says, go back and watch that scene. When Boz says to you, Kyle should have been here, you were like, absolutely. So Dorit says, when you sent me that text, do you want to know how I genuinely felt? I was like, oh, wow, I was hurt. So Kyle's like, oh, so you're full of you know what? Dorit says, no, it's called being polite. I'm not going to beg anybody to support me. Do you understand that? I said, I know that's right. She says, I was hurt. It was a big deal for me. So Kyle says, you want to make me look like an asshole? And Dorit says, listen, sometimes I don't want to go to things either, but I still effing show up. Dorit says, even when I'm tired, I'll show up for my friends. I'm sick and tired of Kyle thinking that, I'm sick and tired of Kyle and Sutton and Erika making swipes at my relationships with Rachel and Boz. The jealousy is seeping out of your pores. So Kyle, Erika, and Sutton are like, wait, what? We're jealous of who? Like, what's going on? So Sutton says, I've never made swipes at you and Rachel or you and Boz's friendship. Girl, yes, you did. Because in the finale episode, out of your own mouth, you said, oh, if Dorit and Boz and Rachel want to sit there, the three of them at the corner, in the corner, braiding each other's hair, then so be it. Is that not a dig to them being friends? You have made swipes at them being a threesome. So don't start. Please. I'm not here for it, babe. Y'all could never win with me because my memory is like perfection. Y'all, they would have a time. They need to have somebody on there who has a great memory because y'all sit up there, y'all forget things. Sutton has absolutely made swipes at them being friends. And so has Kyle and Erika. So anyhow, Dorit says, you suggesting that Boz wound me up, that's projection, Kyle. No, that you wound me up, that's not true. So Kyle says, you project so much. You won't acknowledge that I've been there through everything. So Dorit says, again, you want to go back 10 years ago. So now they start going back and forth. Kyle's like, can you please shut up for like a minute? So she says, let's start with the fact that when you first joined this show, people said that you were fake and phony. I defended you. They talked about your fake accent. I defended you. The whole Lucy, apple juice, juicy, the dog situation with LVP. I had your back on that. I said, Kyle, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear you go back 10 years ago, especially when you guys were all team Dorit because you wanted LVP off that show due to jealousy. So don't sit up there and act like, well, maybe I should have been on LVP's side the whole time because, I was on your side. I don't want this revisionist history right now. Please don't play in my face. I'm tired. I'm really tired. And yes, you did have Dorit's back, but like Dorit said, let's talk about recent years. Let's not go all the way back to 10 years ago. That's just in my opinion. So yes, they wanted LVP off. They sure did. Kyle's very calculated. So now Dorit's like, girl, stop saying that we're friends. Your words don't match your actions. Dorit is right in that regard. You ended our friendship 3 years ago when you said to the world that we were not friends. We were only show friends. We weren't that close. So you ended our friendship, so stop saying that we're friends. And I'm on her side with that. So now Andy's getting no. Kyle's like, Andy, can you please turn her off? Andy says, I can't. So Andy's like, well, hold on. We're still wrapping up Amanda's segment. So we'll come back to this later on. So now Andy brings up a viewer question for Dorit about how she took a lot of heat for what happened at Rachel Zoe's party when Amanda brought up that it was the anniversary of her son who passed away. So Andy says, when you saw what Amanda actually said behind your back, what did you think? They played the clip of what was said at Kathy's house. Amanda did not say anything crazy. It was, this could be really hard for her in this divorce. That was it. That was all. So Dorit did a whole lot of nothing over nothing, right? So now Dorit says, well, I feel like Amanda had an opinion about something that she did not know about. She didn't know me or my ex-husband, so it wasn't fair for her to chime in about. Dorit, I was waiting for you to say, I'm sorry. I should not have kept pushing her and this argument when she told me that it was the anniversary of her son's passing. That was it, and that was all. The way y'all pressed Amanda all throughout this reunion to apologize, but nobody apologized to her when they were wrong, I didn't like that. That did not sit right with me. All you should have said, Dorit, in this scene was, I'm sorry. And at the end of the day, you should have had more smoke for Kyle, because Kyle was running her mouth about you and PK, and Amanda said one little thing that wasn't even bad. So now Amanda says, when I watched the whole thing back, I was relieved, because here I was thinking that I said something so bad, and I didn't. She says, I just expressed an opinion. It wasn't a strong opinion. It was just an opinion. So Sutton says, but you did have an opinion, though. Sutton, please shut up. Please, no, seriously, shut your mouth. Don't say a word. So now Amanda says, yeah, but you agree with my opinion. And then you told her that you didn't agree with it. And then you told her that you didn't agree with it. So Sutton says, well, me and her already talked about that. I said, once again, Sutton, please shut up. So Amanda says, listen, I don't remember saying anything crazy. So Dorit says, well, anyway, it dragged on because you didn't want to let it go. Amanda says, it dragged on because you didn't believe me that I did not have any ill will towards you. So Rachel jumps in and says, what Dorit struggled with, no, Rachel says that what I struggled with at my home was what happened before. Dorit came in so excited about her book, and then you jumped in saying how you were self-published. Now, I will say, Amanda, that was a bit rude. It did feel like you were one-upping her, but the point remains, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about why Dorit kept going when this woman said that her son passed away 3 years on this date, and Dorit kept trying to press this argument. That's what we're talking about. Stop bringing up several things to have Amanda apologize when she's the one who's owed an apology, just in my opinion. So Amanda says, I do want to apologize for that. And Rachel says, you don't have to one-up people. It doesn't make you better. Amanda says, I was not trying to one-up. Again, I'm sorry. So Rachel says, well, I know that, and that's why I'm telling you. Rachel, I don't love your tone, and you have this you take this weird position with Amanda too. Amanda triggers you for whatever reason. I'm going to just say it. I think that Amanda being the youngest one really bothers y'all. I think you guys really are upset and envious of the fact that she's only 40 and y'all are in your 50s. I think it bothers you because the age jabs throughout, like, oh, she's not that young, baby, she's younger than you, and I'm sure y'all would kill to be 40 again. No shade, but there's definitely something there, because I don't like how Rachel is trying to sun Amanda. Well, I'm telling you so that you do know. Girl, who are you talking to? You're not my mother or my father. Girl, who are you speaking to? Rachel, you pissed me off in this reunion too. The side comments, the mumbling, it was bothering me. You jumping on Amanda for no reason, I didn't like that. Y'all have some weird energy towards her. It's really bothering me. But I didn't like how y'all pressed Amanda to apologize over her one-upping about the book, but she could not get an apology from Dorit about the whole thing about her son's passing. That was really grimy to me. And I was shocked that Andy did not press Dorit on an apology. I didn't like that, but I digress. So, yes, they talk down to her. I don't like it. Rachel did not add anything, to be honest. I agree with you. I agree. Oh, I'm screaming. You said Amanda looks fresh and like a human. Okay. Yes, exactly. Rachel's just jealous that we didn't care for her like we do care for Amanda. Okay. Yes, Rachel wants to be with the cool girls. Yes, she does. So now, they break for lunch, and now we have Rachel and Amanda. No, we have Rachel and Dorit off to the side talking about Amanda. Once again, where was Dorit's apology to Amanda? Because Amanda deserved an apology too. So anyhow, they're all eating lunch. We see Kathy and Jennifer Tilly arrive. Kathy, we've touched on this before. I need this whole goofy shtick to end. I'm growing tired. I'm growing weary. When security was coming to help you out the car, and you said, oh, can you hold this? Can you hold this? Can you hold this? And you gave that man and one of the PAs 11 pillows and 2 bags. a suitcase. I said, what's going on? This whole thing of you bringing 5 pillows with you at all times, I'm tired. I'm tired. First of all, you know good and well that you could call up NBC and they would have already had fresh pillows in your trailer. You don't need to travel with pillows with you. It's really getting tired. And it took you 20 minutes to get out the car. I said, girl, enough. It's very performative. No, she is. She's really trying to be so silly and goofy, and that's not who she is. She's a ruthless woman. She's not all this, this ditzy act. It's just that. It's an act. So anyhow, we have Jennifer Tilly going into Kathy's trailer to say hello. And Kathy's like, oh, I love your outfit. You're not wearing jewelry today? And Jennifer Tilly said, girl, I'm not wearing this. This isn't my outfit. I just got here. I said, Kathy, be so for real. Tilly had no makeup on her face. You think she's going to go out with a loose t-shirt and no jewelry and no makeup on? Her hair's a mess? Stop. So it is Kathy's birthday. So her trailer has all these flowers and balloons. Now, baby, when it's time for them to come back on that stage, we see Jennifer Tilly pop out. Tilly looked phenomenal. She looked absolutely amazing. That custom Balmain gown with her face on it, all her custom made jewelry from Bulgari, 8 down, 10 out of 10. She looked phenomenal. She did that, okay? Kathy Hilton, that gave a glorified nightgown. I don't know what that was. I didn't like it at all. Her hair looked undone. It looked frizzy. I wasn't here for Kathy Hilton's look. Andy loved Tilly's gown. He was like, oh my gosh, gorgeous. Did you see how they all looked a bit pressed when Tilly stood up and modeled her gown? She said, well, really, it's a standing dress. I can't really sit in it. They were all looking at her like, baby, if looks could kill, honey. The jealousy jumped out because she looked phenomenal. So anyhow, Andy's like, Tilly, did you bring any snacks for this reunion? She says, I do have some nerds in my medicine bag. And now Kathy Hilton says, oh, I have some mints. And she passes out mints to everybody. So now Andy's asking, what was Kathy's inspiration for her dress today? And Kathy Hilton says that she was on a Jell-O diet. She saw Michelle Obama and Oprah and somebody else on it online. She says Jell-O with baking soda and vinegar. What planet are you mixing Jell-O with vinegar and baking soda? At no point in your pea brain did you not say this has to be a hoax. This is obviously AI. There's no diet that would consist of Jell-O, vinegar, and baking soda. At no point. At no point. So now she says that she lost 2 pounds the first day. Now her system is all messed up. So she tore the insides of her system all the way up because of this stupid diet that's due to AI. So she says she realized that it was all AI. It was an AI Michelle Obama and an AI version of Oprah doing this diet. Kathy, you have the resources. You have a full-time chef. You could have had your chef whip up some really healthy meals if you want to lose weight. You could have just done Ozempic. I don't know why you would do this stupid Jell-O diet. It's not even a Jell-O diet. A Jell-O diet would be all Jell-O. Why wouldn't you just do all Jell-O? Why would you add the baking soda and vinegar? That's not even appetizing. That's disgusting. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, we see each other because why did I feel like that story was made up as well? It gave when See, we share the same mind because there was a part of me that felt like she pulled us out of her behind to take the focus off of Tilly getting all that attention. That's what it gave. And thank you for saying that. I felt like I was reaching, but we see each other. We see each other. It gave very much hateration. It gave, what can I do to get the attention back onto me? Because my outfit is piss poor and Tilly ate everybody up. So what can I do to make them all focus on me and not her? because she looks so good. We see each other. You said you've seen that AI ad. That's a good point. That's a hater move. Yes, honey, it is a hater. Jealous behavior for sure. Hey, Tanya Tells, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. She could have called Oprah. I agree. At her big age, she could have hurt herself with that foolishness. I agree. Don't baking soda and yes, and vinegar cause expansion and bloating. They do. I also thought she was lying about the diet because, girl, you could easily get weight loss medicine. Exactly. Kathy's very calculated. Yup. So anyhow, we're now on to Kyle's segment. They play the montage and Kyle is already teary-eyed, very emotional. Andy says that was tough. Kyle says, yeah, that was tough. I didn't anticipate all these feelings when I saw my old house. So Andy says, I have to say, Kyle, I was really struck by Mauricio's emotional disconnect when you guys saw your old house that Amanda bought. So Kyle says, well, honestly, he's a businessman. This is what he does for a living. So I think that's what it was. He was also taken aback by how emotional I was that day. So Andy's asking, did that emotional disconnect contribute to the demise of your marriage? And she says, yes. May I pause right here? Does anybody else think that it is shameful that we are 3 years into their separation and we still have to ask these grade level questions to get some information out of what happened? The fact that we are 3 years into their separation and we still can't get a straight answer on what led to the demise of their marriage, that is crazy work. If this were any other housewife, they would have been fired for not sharing. The fact that she still won't say what exactly led to the demise of their marriage is crazy work to me. It's wild. Yes, honey, he's going so light on her. Basic ass questions. Exactly. Yeah. Can we thank you for telling the truth on this good Sunday? Kyle's had the same package for the last 3 reunions. Can we talk about it today? It's been the same questions, the same sorry answers from her. We've been doing this sorry dance now for 3 years straight. That is wild to me. That is wild. So now Andy brings up how Kyle mentioned the holidays, that she was out at a party with Mauricio and she felt uncomfortable because he was looking around and he was booked up. So Kyle says, well, Rachel's always with me too in Aspen. She says for a second, he had forgotten that I was his wife of 30 years and that I was right next to him. Even though we're separated, he lost his mind. She says, I was witnessing him being this single guy. And I wanted to be like, what are you doing? Rachel says, yeah, it was awful. He's living a very different life. So now Andy brings up at the Potomac reunion, when he met with them at Kimosabe, a few of them were hot and bothered. Giselle, Ashley, Stacy, they were all, giddy over Mauricio. How does she feel about that? So Kyle says, yeah, I got a few apologies and I got some DMs about it too. So Dorit says under her breath, oh, that's just so gross. Now, Kyle, let's just calm down. Nobody did anything. Nothing happened between them. So I don't know why you feel like you were owed all these apologies. On top of that, I'll say this. I feel like if this were the other way around, if this was somebody else and you were the one who threw yourself at somebody, you'd be making all sorts of excuses of how you don't even know them like that. And Kyle, the way you always switch things in your favor, I feel like if this were the other way around, it would be all these excuses of, well, I don't even know them and he's fair game and da-da-da-da-da, like who cares? He's single. It will be all that. So I don't like how you need the Black women to, give you all these apologies over a man that's no longer yours. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Mauricio is still outside in them streets, okay? It took her a year for her to apologize texting PK. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She was over there having a full-blown friendship with PK, texting memes and information about Dorit when Dorit's supposed to be her friend. So miss me with all that about they owed her an apology, but yet she couldn't own up and give Dorit an apology last year. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for reminding me. So thank you for saying that. So now you said divorce is okay. Memes and jokes. Kyle gives me low-key racist. You said knowing you look down on Potomac girls who wants to hear the sob story, girl, bye. Okay, listen. Remember, it's just memes and jokes. The line is always moving. Exactly. They were both foolish to apologize to Kyle. I agree. So we all see each other, okay? Who died and made Kyle queen? I agree. Who does she think she is? You know why? You know who died and made her queen? Andy. Andy has gassed up Kyle's head. She is one of his favorites, and Kyle knows that. And because she's one of his all-time favorites, and also Beverly Hills is Andy's favorite franchise. That's his personal favorite. So mix those two together, and that's why Kyle's head is just swollen, because she has Andy Cohen's approval. Okay. So now Kyle says, my whole thing was I was annoyed that they were boosting his ego. I said, really, guys? Don't gas his head up. And I get that. Like, this man's ego's already big. Don't make it even bigger by falling all over him and swooning. Like, please. So Kyle says that Kathy would always tell her in the past, quit talking about how hot your husband is all the time on TV. And Kathy is right about that. I feel like people have eyes. Don't bring sand to the beach. Don't talk about how good your man is, or whoever you're dating, man, woman, whatever you prefer. Don't talk about how good your spouse is, or partner, lover is in the bed, because other folks will want to try them out. Okay. So Kathy is right in those regards. Like, girl, stop saying how good he is, because you're going to have people, it just opens the door. Just keep your mouth shut. People can see it. No need to say it. Right. So now Kathy jumps in, and Kathy makes a really weird comment. She's like, yeah, I would say stop trying to push him. Stop trying to make him happen. Stop comparing him to Ken Todd. Andy was like, LVP's husband, Ken? Like, what does Ken have to do with Mauricio? So Andy was like, are you saying that Ken Todd is handsome? And Kathy's like, yeah, he's a very handsome man. Don't you agree? And it was like, where did this come from? Like, Kathy always has to turn the conversation on, take it to another level. Like, we're not why are we bringing up LVP and Ken? It was all weird. Yes, she lost me there. It was so bizarre. Like, what are you talking about? It was so weird. Yeah, you said Kathy wanted some Ken. She must have. It was really weird. It was so off the wall. You said, I think Kathy was saying that Mauricio's not that good looking, but compared to the other husbands, he's better looking. Is that what she was trying to say? It was just such a mix of confusion. It was so weird. Yes, it was a sharp left, no blinker or anything. Yeah, very much so. She didn't have her turn signal on. She just went to the middle of the road and took a sharp left and almost caused a car crash. It was so bizarre. It was so bizarre. So now Andy goes on to ask Kathy, why does she think that Mauricio and Kyle are slow to file? Kathy says, if I'm being honest, I think that it's denial. So Kyle says, I agree. We did have a conversation after Aspen and recently. We both agreed that once somebody special comes into either of our lives, that will force our hand to file for divorce. We haven't felt that yet. So now Bose jumps in and she's like, do you think that could cause anger between you two? And Kyle says, well, I do want to blame somebody. So now Bose is like, if you guys are cordial now, it's easier to separate assets and lives and put a clear mark in it. So Kyle agrees. And I said, respectfully, Bose, you're not close to Kyle like that to give her any advice. Like, Kyle does not see it for you, and you trying to give your 2 cents. It was like, Bose, you just wanted some camera time. You wanted a moment because Kyle did not receive what you were saying. And again, you don't have that rapport. Dorit was better off saying that than you. She barely knows you. Kyle's made no attempt to be your friend. Like, she doesn't see it for you like that. And you trying to jump out the window giving advice. Girl, not too much on advice. You over here with the whole leech. Don't give advice to anybody about love and marital affairs, respectfully. Yeah, she was all over the place. She was. So, oops, hold on. I hope both have the same energy when Keely's ready to cash out. Yeah, she doesn't like her at all. So, because Kyle was looking at her like, girl, can you be quiet? Why are you talking to me? Bo, sit this one out. Yep, she barely tolerated Bose during the season. Exactly. Hey, Bio Miss Flores, thank you for the super chat. I do think Mo and Kyle are in an open marriage, but Kyle can commit and regrets it. Mo's a harlot now and can't be contained. Let him go, Kyle. She still wants that man, friend. She still wants that man. Thank you. She's with a future homosexual. She needs to keep quiet, okay? A 50-year-old dependent. Y'all are on 20. So now Andy goes on to ask, are you afraid that your relationship will change inherently once you guys are officially divorced? Kyle says yes. So Andy's like, is that holding you back? And she says, probably. So now Dorit's like, listen, do you think that you're waiting on him? And she's like, waiting for him to do what? And so Dorit says, waiting for him to come back. So Kyle was shook by that question because it's the truth. She does want that man back. So Kyle says, no, I think it's just not knowing what I want. I like it the way it is. That's a lie. You want that man to come back home to you. That's it. And that's all. She says, I like how we can have dinner. He goes to his room. I go to my room. Then we have coffee and go skiing when we're in Colorado. So Andy's like, you don't think that you would still do family vacations if you guys got divorced? And she says, no, it would change. It would be scary. Rachel, I need you to stop mumbling. Rachel was like, he's living a completely different life. I see him all the time. He's out at least 3 times a week. Rachel, be quiet, please. Like, Rachel did not bring a whole lot to this reunion, I have to say. So now Andy reads a viewer question asking Kyle, if and when she does file for divorce, will she be asking for half of the agency? So Kyle says, yeah, well, it's mine. So Andy's like, what's yours? Kyle says half of the agency is mine. So Kathy's like, does he realize that? So Kyle says, girl, we built our lives together. He didn't have 2 nickels to rub together when I got with him. So yes, it's mine. Like, he owes me half of that agency. So Amanda points out that he launched the agency on her show. I said, ooh, that's very true. So now Sutton says, well, money changes things. And Kyle says, girl, I don't care about all that. All I know is that when we were together, we were married, we were in a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 children. First off, when Kyle said that, my first thought was, I know for a fact that Big Kathy was not happy at all about one of her daughters living in a 2-bedroom with 3 kids and a man who did not have money. I know for a fact that Big Kathy was pissed about that. And we know that Kyle probably felt a way that both of her sisters were married to wealthy men. And here she is in a 2-bedroom. I know she was upset. I know Big Kathy was upset. They were all upset. Yes, honey. Big Kathy was pissed. Big Kathy definitely hated Mo. Listen, honey. Mo was a businessman, a builder man. Okay, wait. So I don't mean to sidetrack and sidestep and go on a tangent, but y'all know how I always say you don't build a man. There's a part of me that feels like Mauricio was resentful of the fact that she did build him up. Think about it. She used her platform to get him to where he is now. On top of that, remember, she got him his position at Rick Hilton's agency. So all of his connections were through his wife and his in-laws, and he didn't get it on his own when you think about it. And I always tell y'all, men have to get it on their own. So when you think about it, it makes sense. You see how it all comes back. It all comes back to you cannot build a man in any capacity. Men have to feel like the hero. And I feel, let me not get off on a tangent, honey. We'll touch on that another time. But that's why it all comes back to never. You do not help men. You do not build them up because they become resentful. They don't like. They need to do it on their own. And when you think about it, Kyle and her family, they've helped him out to where he is, and he's resentful of that. And now he wants somebody else to make him feel like the man. Because how can you feel like the man to your wife who built you up along with her family? A mess. Child. A hot mess. So anyhow, back to the reunion. So Kyle says it doesn't change anything. That agency is half of that is mine. So now Kathy says Sutton didn't get half, but you will. Kathy, that was a weird statement to make. Also, we know that Sutton made out like a bandit with her divorce settlement. So you saying that Sutton didn't get half, but you will, that was weird. Kathy, I don't know if you had a drink or two before. It was just like you were blurting really weird stuff out. Like that, it seemed like shade to me. I mean, I don't care for Sutton, so I don't care. But I thought that was a weird statement to make. Like, and to say it right in front of her too, that was so weird. So Sutton was like, now girl, let's be clear. I got half of the assets. So not too much on me, mama. Not too much on me, Miss Kathy. So Sutton says, I got half of the assets. So then Andy's like, I have a personal question, Sutton. Have the monthly payments gone down? So Sutton says, well, my kids are out the house, so I don't get child support anymore, but I still get my spousal support. She says the $300,000 monthly payments did not include my child support. So Erika's like, wait, they didn't? Like that was separate? You were getting that plus child support, which was God knows how much. So Sutton was clearing at least $500,600,000 each month between child support and the spousal support. So Rachel was like, can I marry him and divorce him myself? And Sutton says, sure, I'll take a finder's fee. I said, now Sutton, knowing how Erika and Rachel and everybody moves, they might hit your ex-man up, okay? And you're so thirsty for validation, you'll let them do it too. So now we move on to Alexia's wedding. And Andy says it looked beautiful. So Andy's like, Kathy, how did Kyle do as a mother of the bride? So Kathy says that she cried for Kyle because she knew that Kyle felt alone on that day. Kyle says, yeah, it was sad in that aspect because it's not what I envisioned for my life when our children got married. She says that she sees so much of her in Mauricio and Alexia and Jake. She says, we're asked all the time, how did this happen? She says, I believe that money, fame, and traveling, that all played a part. So as Kyle's talking, Kyle's emotional. But what got me is at this part, Kathy's phone goes off and she answers the call while Kyle's still talking. Now, Andy, I have to quickly let you have it. I can go down the list of all the times at other reunions, people's phones have gone off. You nearly cursed Teresa out when her phone went off. Ramona's phone has gone off. Several of the housewives' phones have gone off, and you ripped their heads off. Kathy Hilton's phone goes off, and not only do you act like you don't hear it, you have your back turned, let her talk on the phone, don't even mention it. I said favoritism at its finest. I don't care if that's Kathy Hilton, Jennifer Tilly, Nene Leakes, Phaedra, Portia. Fair is fair. The same way that you would get on anybody else if they picked up their phone in the middle of the reunion while you're talking to somebody else, you need to let her have it too. A simple Kathy really would have sufficed. The audacity of it all. I said, wow, she can do no wrong, huh? I would have let Kathy know, Kathy, I don't care that you're Hilton. You can't do that. Turn your phone off. Who is Kathy that she's allowed to just bypass all the rules? I was so annoyed. Yeah, that's what it gave. It gave very much that. It gave like he knows where his bread is buttered and he's too afraid of crossing her. Absolutely not. First of all, Andy has a lot of power as well. Andy's A-list as well. Andy has a huge net worth. Kathy does not make or break him. So he's well within his, that's first of all, he's the boss of them all. So he is well within his right to say, Kathy, now come on now, Kathy. He could have just said, now, Kathy, come on, girl, really? He could have said that. But to not acknowledge it and just let her do what she please, I said, no, ma'am. Yes, Kenya's phone went off. He was pissed. He was pissed. Kathy said she's handling big business at all times. Yes, Andy still writes her checks. Exactly. Andy don't give a damn no more. That's very true. I was so annoyed. Andy said he needs his free rooms at the Hilton hotels. Yes, it was a slap in Kyle's face. It was. So now, but Andy has, wait, hold on. Andy has, wait, one of y'all said, but Andy has enough social capital. This is not the Andy of yesteryear when he was just starting out. This is the Andy Cohen. Andy's been in the game now for almost 20 years. He's a bona fide household name himself. He has a huge net worth. He doesn't need Kathy Hilton. Do you know what I'm, so like, if that's how he feels, that's silly because he has enough social capital and status himself, or where he doesn't need to depend on anybody, much less Kathy Hilton. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yes, Andy Cohen is him. He is. He's a huge name. He doesn't need to walk on eggshells with Kathy Hilton, in my opinion. So now, Kyle says, I think about how I would tell him, it's okay. We can just move to Vail and you can be a ski instructor and we'll be happy. She says, if that had happened, we would still be together. So they're all like, wow, really? So now Kyle says that social media is the worst thing for a relationship for people in the public eye. Everybody has access to you 24/7. So in my opinion, that was Kyle's way of saying that he's cheated then. That's his way. That was her way of saying to us that he was in those DMs. He was opening up those DMs. Now, here's my thing, Kyle. If he was in the DMs or if he was entertaining the DMs that were sent to him, dry those tears. Because of the fact that you know how I will always tell y'all, do not ever shoot your shot at a man, right? So if your husband or boyfriend is he's leaving you for somebody who shot their shot with them, let them have them. Because at the end of the day, I can sleep knowing, babe, he approached me first. You had to DM him first. You had to shoot your shot first. So go ahead, like, babe, like, I can't shed any tears because you're overly going for a woman who had to shoot her shot with you. So it's like, you know what? I can't even be upset. So like, Kyle, dry those tears. No, seriously, to Kyle, dry your tears because, girl, he was cheating on you with women who had to shoot their shot with them. That's embarrassing. So, girl, just over that alone, you can't even be sad. I can't be sad over, babe, you had to shoot your shot with him. So like, that's embarrassing. So like, loser, like, that's very embarrassing. Like, girl, dry those tears. Please, dry them. Dry them. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. I just had to check my computer. Hold on. All right. Y'all can hear me good? We're good? Okay, good. We're back. So, again, that was her way, in my opinion, of saying that he cheated. He was responding to the DMs that were sent to him. So now, I wish you would just say it outright and stop talking in euphemisms. Okay? So, Boz, let me just get you quickly. Boz interjects. And Boz is trying to find some common ground with Kyle. So Boz says, Kyle, as somebody who's in a newly public relationship, looking to get married, people say things about me and Keely. They talk about red flags, me trying to have a baby to keep him. They talk about he's not going to make money. He's only using her for the money. Boz, First of all, babe, we're talking about two separate things. You trying to compare what you and Keely have to what Kyle and Mauricio had? Stop it. Stop. Please stop. Stop. Mauricio and Kyle had 30 years. There was love and romance and attraction between them. Money. Stop. We're not going to do this. And that was your way of letting us know, the viewers, the content creators who talk about the show, that was your way of telling us that we need to mind our business and stop talking about y'all two. And your wish is my command. We, the people, we see the grift, we see the nonsense. And we're trying to help you out so that you don't become a cautionary tale that we're talking about a year later because this man swindled you and took all your money. We're trying to make sure that your heart is protected. We're trying to make sure that your bag is protected because it seems like you're so desperate for love that you want to tune out the red flags. A grown man posing a hypothetical to you, asking you, what would you do if I lost my job and couldn't make any money? Huh? Excuse me? So you're mad at us, but not him for even asking a stupid question like that. You're mad at us for asking, what does this man do for a living? Because all we've heard is how you're the boss, but we haven't heard about what he does. I said, girl, okay. Bose wants to be a country song. Where's Keely's briefcase that shouldn't he be going to work? Bose, you better listen. Keely's going to hit your pocket hard. At least Kyle and Mauricio were together for years and built well together. She does. Like, what the hell? I'm happy Bose took another scrub off the market. Thank you. Because I'm confused about that. How is he a business owner and entrepreneur, but yet he's talking about losing his job? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no, listen. It's above us now. It's above us now. So whatever that means, exactly. Bo's comparing Mo to her Dusty. Shout out to Bo's, honey. I said, all right. I said, so going forward, y'all, we're not going to say a word about Keely and this and all this foolishness. So she likes it. God bless. God bless. It's just really funny to me that this man did not tell you I love you until a year into the relationship. On top of that, on the third date, you paid his way to go to Ghana. But yeah, we're crazy for thinking that he's only with you for the money. But let's just move on though. We're crazy because we see the scam, we see the grift, we see what's about to happen. But you know what? You know what to do, girl. Godspeed. That's it. Godspeed. 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 Didn't she say he surprised her in Ghana? She said that last season. Then remember, he revealed it because you see how these men will always they'll always tell the real truth. Remember when he proposed to her 3 episodes ago, and he said in his proposal speech, he said, when you surprised me and asked me to go to Ghana with you after the 3rd date, I said, oh, she's something special. I said, yeah, she's real special in the wallet. She tried to lie in the last season, but he told the truth in that proposal speech that she invited him to Ghana after the 3rd date. Imagine inviting a man after the 3rd date. Imagine. Probably picked out his outfit. He saw dollar signs. The 4th date must have been on the Real House of Beverly Hills being filmed. Trip to Ghana on the 3rd date, more like trip to Lululand. Child, a mess. I don't have to change my delivery for Bose. Who is Bose? Wrote out his speech too. Real special in the coin. He said jackpot. She's making that play for that man. Girl, my ex flew me to St. John on the 2nd day. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Why are you as a woman inviting a man on a vacation after the 3rd date? Shouldn't be doing that at all. He's supposed to invite you on a vacation, not the other way around. Hey, Rich the Fish, thank you for the super chat. Every pot finds a lid, every candy finds a Todd. Hey, Jeremy D, thank you for the super chat. 300,000 plus 200,000 a month tax free. I would marry, divorce, widow that troll. Hey, exactly. Thank you for the super chat. In the illustrious words of Ariana Grande, ain't got no tears left to cry. Exactly. A jet set Holly to Jamaica, honey. Yes, go back and watch the proposal episode. He says it in his speech. And also, can we talk about how there was nothing romantic or sweet about that speech? That speech sounded so robotic. At no point did I hear him say, "Oh, you just blew me away when I met you. I was blown away by you." And it was all like, the third date, you invited me to Ghana, and I said, "Oh well, this girl right here, she really something special." Yeah. So I said, "Hey, why not?" It was. Let's move on. Let's move on. Why wasn't her family there? We only saw her daughter, one cousin, and that was it. Oh my gosh. Yes, that speech could have been to any woman. That's what it gave. It was like, yeah, she's all right. She's all right. She invited me to Ghana. Yeah, I said, why not? She's all right. Bose, you ain't half bad. That's what it gave. Oh my gosh. Oh goodness, that's Bose choking me out because she's upset with me. Goodness. Yes. I caught that too. Oh gosh. Just pure foolery. Okay. You said you better make that a short too. Yeah, she's all right. She ain't half bad. Sound like somebody's uncle. Yes. So anyhow, Andy was like, well, beyond that, Bose, anybody can DM him. I said, respectfully, Andy, nobody's DMing Keely. Respectfully. Kyle says, going forward, I don't want somebody with social media. She says, anybody with no social media, that's a green flag. So now Andy brings up her and Morgan. Of course, just pure foolishness, right? Andy says, I'm sure it felt like a weight was lifted when you finally brought up Morgan and the whole breakup. So Kyle says, well, there's been a lot of people have relationships that nobody knew about on the show. Dorit was looking like, who, girl? So Andy says, well, here's my thing. It seems like this person did not want you to do the show. So Kyle says, well, I'm sitting here. So Andy starts asking her, was your staying on the show what led to your relationship breaking up? Kyle says, no, it wasn't that. There was no ultimatum. So now Andy goes on and asks Dorit, you told Sutton at lunch that you protected Kyle. Is this what were you referring to her relationship with Morgan? Dorit says, yes. Many times that was a big topic of conversation, and I would just lie. So Andy's like, Kyle, do you appreciate how Dorit would lie for you about when it came to you and Morgan? And Kyle, of course, is mumbling. She finally says, yes, I appreciated that. So Kyle says, I feel like we have to respect people who aren't paid to be here. Dorit says, I just want to say one thing, Kyle. You just said a few minutes ago that a lot of people here haven't shown who they were dating. Who are you talking about? So Kyle's like, well, I've had conversations with people on here who don't want to bring their people on. We know Sutton's not dating. Sutton can't get a date. So we know it's not Sutton. That rules her out. The only person you could be talking about would be Erika, because you don't talk to Bose like that. Bose is head over heels for Keely anyway. Rachel just joined the show. Amanda's married, so it could only be Erika that you're talking about. Girl, stop. So now, Andy says, Erika, you were dating somebody who you had a bad experience with and they weren't on the show. Erika says, imagine if they were on the show. So Andy says, But Kyle, people were invested in you and Mauricio. It was a big deal when you guys broke up. We have been following you for so many years. Do you see why people feel a certain way about, like not sharing stuff? So Kyle says, I've given the audience so much in these last 15 years. People want to focus on that one little thing. She says, everything's not up for public consumption, as LVP would say. Kyle, this is pure deflection and loser behavior at its finest. The audacity for you to say that everything is not up for public consumption. You brought the lady on the show. You brought Morgan on the show. Season 13, you brought her on the show. What the F are we talking about? We saw you guys getting matching tattoos. You were in the tabloids for months on end. Y'all were public with it, holding hands in France. You were in Paris together, south of France together, Mexico together, Aspen together, Vail together, Bahamas together. Y'all were traveling the world together on private jets. You were a picture of you sitting on her lap in a private jet. What the F are you saying right now? You did that sexy music video giving a Brazzers tea. How dare you? You were making jokes about, oh, have you guys ever scissored before? You were doing all that. Now for you to say it's not up for public consumption, the audacity of you. And Andy, it's a sin and a shame that you won't call Kyle out on her BS and her hypocrisy. You brought this lady to the main stage. You had her in our faces. And now for you to say, you have the gall to say, oh, it's not up for the public. How dare you? I was done. I was so done. I really could not believe, Kyle, for you to say that. Kyle wants it both ways, no pun intended. Kyle, you want to do what you want to do. The rules apply to everybody else except for you. It's ridiculous. For you to blame us, the fans, and act like we're intruding in your business, that is not the case at all. You owe it to the viewers to say what it was, what it's not, and let's move on. And what really bothers me is I already see the play. Before season 20 hits, because I know how calculated you are, when the cries of your firing grow too loud for you to ignore, you'll be the first one offering up your business to us when we no longer care. I see you finally telling us the truth around season 19, because the cries of your termination will be so loud that nobody will be able to ignore it. So you'll finally cough up the real truth about what happened between you and Mauricio and what happened between you and Morgan. And it'll be too late by then. But I already see the play. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. For you to act like we're giving you a hard time for no reason. And I'm still not over how last season you tried to blame the public for trying to out your sexuality. How dare you? You and Morgan were over there in our faces, blatant with it, the music video and everything. But now you want to say that, oh, we're trying to out you. Excuse me? It's everybody else's fault except yours. I can't stand it. I'm so tired. Yes, she did. She did. Hey, exactly. Thank you for the super chat. Go back to the last 45 reunions. Kyle, yes, regurgitates that speech every year. I've shown so much over the past insert number of years here. What a joke. Yes, every single year. It's like a broken record. She said the same thing is said. The same thing. She spilled her own tea and now she's mad. Exactly. Yep, Kyle outed Denise. Exactly. Yes, she got mad at Garcelle, saying that she was mad at called Garcelle an asshole for when Garcelle said, listen, if you're bisexual, if you like women, nobody's judging you, just own it, living your truth, and had the nerve to say, Garcelle, that was mean girl behavior of you. That was such an asshole move. How dare you? Just nasty. I'm so sick of Kyle. I really am. But it's a shame. As long as she's Andy's favorite, she's not going anywhere. But Kyle, when you're the reason for the show tanking, I don't want to hear any complaints. So now Andy goes on to ask Dorit, when you were on Watch What Happens Live a few months ago, I asked you, what was your reaction to Kyle and her ex breaking up? And you said, that happens when she's filming. So Dorit was like, yeah, I said it. So Andy's like, do you think that she's not filming that her and Morgan are together? And Dorit says, I don't know, Andy. She's to your right. Why don't you ask her? I was here for it. I know I saw a lot of people on social media say that was Dorit's termination when she said that because Andy was pissed. Dorit, if you are fired because of that, it was well worth it. Because I'm tired of Andy feeling like he can do and say whatever he wants to y'all, and y'all can't speak up. He deserved that. Because again, why are you asking me? Ask her that. This is her segment. So why are you asking me about her life and her segment? Go ask her. Why are you going to ask me what I think? Ask her. She's right there. I was here for it. Listen, go out with a bang. Go out with a bang. I was here for it. Dorit said, baby, I don't need this check that bad. You're not going to sit up here and sun me. Go ask her. I was here. He was pissed. He was like, he read his cue card. He was like, yeah, she is right. She is right there. He was pissed. She was right. She was real smooth with it. She was like, she's to your right. Go ask her. Do your job. Why are you asking me? I was here for it. I was here for it. She didn't stutter. She didn't flinch. She was like, I loved it. Yes, he couldn't even look at her. He couldn't even look. He was livid. His face was, he was like, yeah, she is to my right. I was like, don't make that face, Andy. I said, oh, she got you real good. She got him good, honey. I said, Dorit, you ate that. Dorit ate, yeah, it was, now check that. Yes. I'm not a Dorit fan, but baby, I was here for that moment. Listen, I said, Dorit won me over with that. Dorit won me over with that, honey. She meant exactly what she said. She sure did. Concern yourself over there at the Chateau Charest. He deserved that. It's clear he doesn't like her. Honey, she got him together. I can't stand Dorit, but she was mother this reunion. She was. Dorit eats every now and again. Andy already don't like Dorit, and she knows it, so I guess she no longer cares. Yeah, Dorit was giving, babe, this is my last season. I'm going to go out on my terms. That's how you do it. That's how you, like, baby, I know you don't like me. I know you don't care for me. So, I'm going to give it right back to you. And if you fire me, oh, well, it is what it is. She should have hit him with that charade. Are you okay? Yes. Dorit, that moment had me so gagged. I had to rewind that scene about 3 times because he was pissed. He was talking to you through gritted teeth when you said that. That was fabulous. So anyhow, Kyle says, well, I made it clear that I'm single, so no. So Andy's like, are you still heartbroken over Morgan? Kyle says no. So now it's time for Sutton's segment. We can breeze past Sutton's segment. We can breeze. I'm not going to hold you. Sutton had me all the way messed up. Sutton had me all the way messed up. I said, you tried it. I hope Garcelle never speaks to you again. This was nasty work. I was livid. So Andy says, Dorit, I'm going to assume that you don't feel like Sutton has made any personal progress. Dorit says, well, at first I did, but then, her evil ways showed up again. It showed up at Rachel's party. So that Andy points out that Erika made a comment about how Sutton has eased up on the vodka. And Andy's like, what made you ease up on the alcohol? So Sutton says that she didn't drink for 3 months after last season. Now she drinks a glass of champagne or some wine with dinner, and that's it. She says it's so much better for her. So now Andy's asking, do you believe that you had a problematic relationship with alcohol? Sutton says, maybe. I was getting lost. I was drinking too frequently, and I needed a reset. So Andy says, well, moving on to Avi. There's theories floating around about why you two split. The secrecy about it begs more questions. It's easier to say that you had a big fight or he did something nefarious. Sutton says, no, he didn't do anything nefarious. It was just a termination of employment. That's a lie. We know Sutton lies. I don't believe a word of it. She says, with any termination, we both sign things and that's it. Girl, stop. You can badmouth a job. You can badmouth a boss once you are fired and let go, okay? You made him sign an NDA. Let's be clear on that. You are a liar. If there were no NDA signed, he would have blasted you a long time ago. So he's like, Andy's like, was there a big settlement that you had to pay him? And she says, I paid him a severance for sure. So now Andy brings up how Garcelle and Avi were on a red carpet together a while back. What did she think about that? So Sutton says, well, they were friends and all, but I had no idea they were great friends like that, but I can't let that bother me. So when Garcelle was defending you to the high heavens, when the cool girls didn't want you to hang out with them, but you were chasing behind them and leaving Garcelle for dead, that's okay. But her being super close now to your ex-assistant, that bothers you? You can't let that bother you? So how do you think Garcelle felt when you were chasing behind people who didn't like you while she was right there being a good friend to you? So now, I don't like how Rachel was shaking her head saying, oh, that felt intentional. And so Erika says, yeah, they were trolling. Shut the F up. I don't know what Erika's issue is with Garcelle, but girl, shut up. And Rachel, you don't even know Garcelle. So why are you chiming in saying anything? Rachel, I liked you and all, but you are really pissing me off in this reunion. Keep your mouth shut, please. So now Andy says on Watch What Happens, when I had Garcelle on Watch What Happens Live, she said that she put more in your friendship than she got back. So Sutton says, okay. So she says, I don't know why she thinks that. I would have done anything for her and those boys. We are talking about Garcelle Bouvet. Why are you trying to act like you were somebody's savior or hero where she needed you to swoop in and save them? I would have done anything for Garcelle and those boys, and she knows it. Girl, stop. This ain't that. Don't you ever try to put some spin on it like you were there to be, I want to say a term so bad, but I don't know if it's like kitchen table talk or if I can say it out loud, so I'm going to let you take a guess of what I'm trying to say. But don't you dare try to act like you were don't act like you were somebody's savior. Don't you dare. Like you were there to help the Black woman out. Garcelle has been in the game for over 30 years. How dare you? How dare you? Yes. Giving very much that. How dare you? How I was livid. For you to turn it into that, I was disgusted. I said, no, ma'am. I said, no, ma'am. I couldn't believe her. That's not what Andy asked you on top of that. You're deflecting because you know that you were wrong. You know that Garcelle's right. Garcelle was more of a friend to you than you were to her. Garcelle was over there fighting your battles, and you couldn't even defend her at the reunion last year. Too busy trying to beat up Kyle and Erika's behind. And you still can't admit that. You still can't find the integrity to say, you know what, Andy, I was wrong. I left my best friend out to dry, and she's mad at me, and I deserve that. Now you want to play into this whole savior trope of, oh, I would have done anything for her and those boys. And for her to say those boys, like they're two boys off the street and they need a helping hand. Girl, their mama is a multimillionaire and a celebrity and a celebrity for over 30 years. Are you out of your mind? I was done. Honey, I was done. I was so pissed. She had me messed up. Honey, like they were from the gutter. I could not believe her. I was shocked. I was really shocked. So now Andy's asking the ladies if they have any thoughts about Garcelle and Sutton's friendship crumbling. They're all silent. Of course they are. They're all mad because the plan was to get Garcelle out the group, and she quit on them before they could do that to her. That's why they're upset. So Sutton says, I did have one thought the other day. I think it was she said, I thought I had one thought the other day. I think it was when you asked me, Andy, last year at the reunion, what was my biggest surprise? And I said that I was surprised that me and Erika got closer. She says it was no surprise that Garcelle came along and helped me with my mom, Reba. Andy says the conjecture might have been she was upset because it came after Erika told her that she was boring and brought nothing to the show. Isn't that so funny how the clown comes back to bite? Because, baby, the same stuff that you spewed out to Garcelle, Dorit hit you back with that this season because Dorit told you, Miss Mamas, pick up the pace because your job is on the line. What have you brought? You brought nothing but getting on me all season because you have no storyline. So the same way you tried to play that with Garcelle, now Dorit said that to you, and now you're spiraling. And yet, honey, isn't it ironic, honey, that you see how the tables turn swiftly. So now, yeah, you said now Andy remembers things. That was my thought too. So Sutton says, my friendship with Garcelle was more than just a reunion show. No, it wasn't, girl. You looked at Garcelle was always a stepping stone and the placeholder friend. Garcelle was always the friend that you went to when you were iced out of the cool group. And you knew in your head that the minute Erika, Kyle, and Dorit accept me, I'll be ditching her for greener pastures. She was never your real friend. She viewed you as a real friend, but you never viewed her as a real friend. So now Jennifer Tilly says, I saw their friendship. It was genuine. So now Sutton says, the plain truth is I've lost a friend, and I hope that one day we can reconcile or at least talk. There will be none of that until you can say out of your mouth that you were wrong for what you did to Garcelle. You take full ownership and accountability, and you're sorry. Until you can say that, until you can lower your ego and lower your pride and admit that, Garcelle's going to keep paying you dust at each and every turn, as she should. Until you can humble yourself and admit that you were wrong, there will be no conversation going forward. So you can keep on hoping all you want to. It's not happening. How dare you? How dare you? And Garcelle needs to send you an email and curse you out to even say that you would have done anything for her and those boys. What does that mean? I'll wait. Because again, I'm confused. Like she's some, a poor woman on the street who needs your help. Honey, she had a name before this show. Let's run down the resume. Her money is good. She's good. She's not hurting for cash. I was really blown by that comment. That really pissed me off. So now Andy calls out the anger that we the viewers had with Sutton lashing out at Jennifer Tilly when they were in Arizona. Jennifer Tilly, I love you down, but I am tired of you kowtowing to Sutton Brown. Who the F is Sutton that you need to walk on eggshells with her? She needs to be walking on eggshells with you. Jennifer Tilly grabs Sutton's hand and she says, honestly, I love Sutton so much. Sutton, I want to apologize. I should have never said those things to Kyle. You're a very good friend to me. I apologize. There would have been no apology. And Jennifer, I told you about this when the episode came on episodes ago in the beginning of the season when you apologized and you caved to Sutton at Rachel Zoe's house. She owed you the apology, not the other way around. She lashed out at you for no reason. The audacity. And for you to grab her hand, you had every right to lash out and vent to Kyle about how you felt. You sitting up there cursing and yelling at me, and I've been nothing but a friend to you for over a decade and a half. Girl, what? And let's be honest, if a friend were to embarrass you like that and you're in front of a group, I'm for sure talking about you to everybody in the group. Like, how did you hear how she talked to me? She has me effed up. Of course I'm doing that. I'm not apologizing for that. I'm telling you right now, if you ever try to embarrass me in front of a group, I am lighting you up to everybody in the group. Like, you better hope I do that, because if I don't do that, I'm gonna get on you so bad. It's gonna like, so your best bet is for me to talk about you like a dog to everybody in the group. That I'm letting you know right now, if you ever embarrass me in front of a group of people, I am bitching and venting about it to everybody in the group. Sutton has no control over how you respond to how she treated you first. She snapped at you first. So whatever you do afterwards, you're well within your right to do so. I was so mad. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I get so annoyed. Yes, honey, I'm chin checking on the spot. Listen, I'm checking you on the spot, but I'm still going to talk to everybody else about it too, like that, because I'm petty. So yes, I'm going to check you in front of everybody, but I'm also going to talk about you behind your back. And I'm going to say, yeah, I was talking about you behind your back to everybody, but now I'm cool though. Now I'm fine. But I had to get that off of my chest. So I got to match it. You want to embarrass me, so now I got to embarrass you. So we got to be tit for tat. So at least I'm honest. I'm very honest. I will never lie to y'all. I will never lie to y'all. I was so mad. I was just. So I don't like how Sutton responded back. Sutton gave a very HR answer, because Sutton says, "Thank you very much, Jennifer." I was like, girl, what is this HR robot voice? So Sutton says, "I really do apologize for barking at you. That's that." I said, "Oh, so now you decide when the conversation is over?" Tilly, I need you to check Miss Sutton Brown. I do. I don't like how she has you in a frenzy. And Sutton snapped at you several times before the Arizona trip, because she had said something like, "The road to hell is paved with like bad intentions." And then Tilly had corrected her, like, "Oh no, the quote is actually this." And you were like, "Tilly, like, don't correct me." And then Tilly made a joke about something else, and Sutton was like, "Why are you always making fun of me? Can you stop doing that? Like, don't say that." So you had snapped at Jennifer Tilly about 4 times before that Arizona trip. So you already had me effed up by the time you got to Arizona. Child, I can't. So now Andy says, moving on to Sutton and Dorit at Rachel's birthday party. Dorit says, "Look, Sutton was looking at me with that look that she always does. She went to the dark side that night." So Sutton says, "You're presupposing things. All I said was, listen, I'm not coming at you or anything." Dorit says, "No, girl, I know that look that you always do. Like you were on some BS that night." So now Sutton says, "What you saw in my eyes was exhaustion. That's it." Dorit says, "No, girl, you had another agenda that night." So Andy says, "The fact that Sutton did not show up for your book party, was that the last straw for you?" Dorit says, "Yes, it was." So now Kathy's like, "Dorit, may I ask you something? You had other friends at this party. Did you really care if Sutton was there or not?" Dorit says, when she had her fashion show last season, I was there to support her." So Sutton says, "But Dorit, don't do that, because you came to my fashion show. You were inauthentic and you couldn't wait to trash it." So we do see that Dorit was throwing shade at that horrible fashion show. And Sutton says, "I'd rather not go than to show up and pretend like I loved it and trash it. That's worse." So Andy's like, "May I ask you something? Hypothetically, if Sutton had shown up, if Sutton had said, why would I show up for a book cover party? Who does a party for the cover of the book? And the cover's not even good. How would you have felt had she said that?" Dorit says, "I would have felt like, you know what, but what does it have to do with her not showing up?" So Andy says, "I'm making an analogy, Dorit." Dorit says, "Well, it's not a good analogy." I said, "Oh, she is tired of Andy, honey." So she says, "I do think when I saw you and Erika at your house during my book launch, that hurt." So Erika's like, "Wait, us being together?" Dorit says, "Yeah." Dorit says, "You couldn't have shown up for me at all?" Erika says, "No, I couldn't have. I was very hurt." I said, "Not the ice queen with no emotions. Now she's hurt." but okay. So Dorit's like, and you were hurt by what? So Erika says, what you said at the table in Italy. When you said, why are you trying to save yourself? You're doing this to save yourself. And he says, oh, she was coming after your job. Erika says, yes, you can call me a see you next Tuesday all day. But when you say that hurt. Because I bared my soul with the DV stuff. I really put it up. When I see somebody I love say that about me, I'm like, no. I said, do y'all not remember? Do y'all, okay, we see each other. Honey, I kept saying, Erika, if you don't shut up. She wanted the moment so bad. Let me tell you this. Do y'all remember that last dinner episode in Italy? Do you remember when I said Dorit was the one who ate in that conversation, that argument? I don't think that Erika won that argument. Dorit got her. Remember when I said, when Dorit made that slick comment that went over everybody's head? Dorit said to her, oh, girl, you're doing this, you're trying to save yourself. Remember when I said, girl, that was Dorit's way of saying, babe, you're trying to phone it in at the last minute because there's no storyline. And you're trying to make this a moment to save your spot on this show. That hit a nerve. That comment alone had Erika bothered because she knows that, one, it's the truth. Two, Andy and production are now going to say, do we need to keep Erika for next season? And we know that she needs this job and this paycheck and the relevance. So Dorit saying that really struck a nerve. And I said, baby, the fact that she's angry about that months later, I said, Dorit got her. Dorit got her in that argument. Because Miss Mamas is still stewing over that one comment. I said, my God. She's ashamed she's stooped to that level. She is ashamed. I said, Brooke was right on the money because Erika's really mad about that. Oh, no, listen. Miss Mamas was livid. And when Dorit first said it, Erika didn't really realize until she probably got on that plane to go back to LA. And it was like, wait, she said that to me? Like, damn. Miss Mamas was sick. She was sick. That comment is what Erika's really mad about. You said Dorit is nasty. Two things can be true. Dorit is nasty, but so is Erika. And if I have to choose a side, I'm on Dorit's side when it comes to this whole thing. Nobody's been nastier than Erika. Erika has called folks the C word multiple times. She said some horrible things. Dorit's getting her lick back. And again, I'm no Dorit fan, but I have to be fair, and I have to admit that when it comes to this whole situation, I am on Dorit's side. And just my 2 cents, y'all. Just my 2 cents. So now, Dorit says, Erika, you have to understand my point. Erika says, I get it. So Dorit says, baby, I let you speak. So Erika says, first off, don't talk to me like that. I said, wait, the gall. Because Erika has spoken to people so horribly with that nasty tone. So now for her to police how somebody else's tone is with her is comical to me. After all the years of you gritting your teeth, hissing at Sutton years ago, cursing at folks. So now you want the utmost respect with you, but you're allowed to say whatever you want and talk to people however you want to. Okay. I said, all right, girl. Yes, mean girl on mean girl crime. Okay. I'm not a fan of Dorit, but she is chewing on their necks. She is. Nasty is a fair game. I agree. They are all the same. Right, Erika, please. Hissing like a broke animal. Dish it, but can't take it. Erika's been waiting to tear people's heads off for years. Thank you. Cursing at children. Thank you. I would have said, or what? You said, Erika, we don't care about your cop son and your new love interest. So now, Dorit's, Erika says, let me finish how I feel. Dorit says, okay, finish. So Erika says, that's exactly why I'm in the position that I am now. Dorit says, you unleashed on me, girl. What was it that made you explode on me like that? Erika says, I'll tell you when I effing lost it. When you said that Bose has supported you the most, more than anybody in this group, I was like, oh no. So you have Bose making a face. And I said, Bose, if you know what's good for you, you'll just keep quiet because you are no match for Miss Erika Jane. I know you think that you do something with when it comes to you and Amanda, because Amanda's the weakest link in your opinion, but you don't want it with Erika. So girl, just stay quiet. So Andy's asking Dorit if she wants to apologize to Erika. Dorit's like, apologize for what, Andy? Andy says she's saying that it made her flip out when you said that she's doing this to keep her job. Do you want to apologize? And that's where part 2 ends. That's where part 2 ends. Thank you. Erika is so sensitive now. What about how she treated the victims? Exactly. Listen, I'm going to just say this. Dorit chewed at this reunion. Dorit's clearing. I have to give props. Like, Dorit is clearing. Dorit said, Miss Mamas, if this is my last season, that's cool with me. I'm going to go out with a bang. Dorit has not stuttered. She has not faltered. She's not flustered. She is calm, cool, and collected. And she's been eating them all up with ease. I have to give her her due. I have to give her her due. I'm going to let you know this, though. I don't want to hear another word about this argument between her and Erika and her and Kyle. It's over and done with. They're no longer friends. We're talking in circles at this point. It's enough already. It's enough. It looks like part 3 is about to be solely about Boz and her segment. And we see that there's more pushback between her and Amanda. I said, Boz, until you can just say that you're sorry for what you said about Amanda, I don't want to hear it. Yes, Dorit has been heavyweight champ for 2 seasons straight. I agree. What is left for part 3? I guess Boz's engagement. And you know what's funny? I'll bet you guys money that they asked Boz about Keely and the comments about Keely and how she feels even more in this last part. She minked them both with one hand. Unfortunately, there's no show without Dorit. They can't fire her. No one else in that cast is bringing anything. You know what? That's actually true. I'm just skipping right over Boz's part. Child, Boz can't be a whole part. It'll probably be more the continuation of Erika versus Dorit, Boz, and maybe some more, a compilation of all the funny things, all the great pieces that Jennifer Tilly wore throughout the season. It's probably going to be that. Yes, we talked about that. We talked about Boz trying to call Andy out. Yeah, I played the whole clip and everything. I played the whole clip. You said, I guess I won't be watching. I couldn't care less about Boz and her segment. Yeah, Rachel had her package at the very beginning of part 1. It was like 5 minutes long. It was a blip on the screen. But you know what, though? I did submit a question for Boz. So I'm hoping I hope that Andy reads it. My question for Boz was, Boz, I'm confused. You don't see the red flags with Keely asking you about what if he loses his job? And how can he lose a job when he's an entrepreneur? He's self-employed. Can you explain what he does? So hopefully Andy reads my question. Hopefully. But if my question does not get asked, then that means that they just don't want me to shine. They see my name and say, oh, I know who this is. I'm not reading this. If they don't read my question, I'm gonna know that it's some funny business. So so just know y'all heard it here first. I hope that he reads. I hope he reads. Brooke, you tag me back in with that question. And he never reads the good questions. Child. Hey, Betty, thank you for the super chat. It's that tri-state in Dorit. Yes, it is, honey. That New York, Jersey, Connecticut is coming out. If Andy asks that question, Bo's going to make a 10-minute video educating us on how to catch and keep a man. Not Brooke asking how can he lose an imaginary job. Knowing Andy, he likes to skip over the questions that the people want to know. Now, Brooke, you know she can't explain what that man does. Boz, when she first saw Keely, dang, I want to buy him a short set. Oh, my gosh. You said, I don't like nobody on this cast, but I will say, get her to read. She's going to say, we're hating. Listen, she is going to say that. I won't be surprised if he doesn't read it. I won't be surprised. And also, if she watches, her and her people are watching. Shout out to another housewife who said that they watch me, but then they don't watch me. Now other people watch me after years of watching me. I digress. But I'm sure that she watches me along with the other housewives. And for her to make that comment about what we're saying about Keely, it shows that she's watching. So I won't be surprised if he doesn't ask that question, because she'll be like, oh, I know who that is. Don't, Andy, I'm not answering that. You say, yep, hey, Boz's people. knowing they have no people. Don't start on this good Sunday, honey. Bose has already recorded the video. She's ready, honey. So hi, Bose's people. Ciao. Don't start, y'all. Oh my gosh. Y'all are so silly. They're getting ready to jump out the window, honey. Y'all better stop. Hey, Betty, thank you for the super chat. Jennifer Tilly was calm, but her face said everything as the show went on. Yes, it did. It did. Hey, Jamon Jones, thank you for the super chat. Bose is trying to PR herself after every reunion episode. She is, and it's not working. It's not landing at all. Bose is going to explain in her condescending tone that businesses fail all the time and how hard it is to be a business owner. Staff is empty as the breezeway. She's always going to get mentioned. The starting has begun already. Bose can leave the show. That's how I feel too. You said it's 77 now. She got upgraded. Yeah, honey. She got upgraded from the last live. Y'all were generous and said, well, move her to 77 now and put the other one at 87. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and funky Dineva's voice. Robin, you did all this? Shout out to Funky Dineva, honey. Oh my gosh. I have never liked Erika. Bose, what happened? You said, Brooke, can we talk about Bose mentioning the Met Gala, please? It gave desperate. Wait, what did she say about the Met Gala? What did she say? She said at the reunion? Did I miss it? I don't remember. What did she say about the Met Gala? Thank you. It's so contradicting. Is it not the Met Gala, honey? Ooh, not her causing drama. Erika has to go. She said, Andy, I went to the Met Gala too. Oh, is the next episode that she was there too? Next episode clip that she is gone and they showed pics. So why did she bring that up? And when was this? And what did she wear? They showed the pics. She said she also went to the Met Gala when Andy said only Sutton and Kathy went. Ciao. Andy was defending that Sutton, she is not a socialite. You said, who cares, Bose? I don't believe her. When Andy was talking about how many times Rachel Zoe has been, and Bose said, don't leave me out of that too. Ciao. Rachel mentioned she attended the Met Gala, and then Bose said she attended it too, and the production showed a picture. Andy only mentioned Rachel first. During the Sutton segment, desperate. She must. That was when Dorit was saying that Sutton was a social climber. At the Met with no red carpet is odd. I mean, it gives insecure. Oh, I Googled. She went in 2016. Because when Dorit said Sutton was a social climber, Bose just want to hear herself talk. Bose and Sutton don't have good fashions for the Met Gala. Like, don't forget me. Yes, that's all I've got. Congratulations and happy birthday. Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all have me in tears. You said oh wow. Oh wow, really? I'm gonna Google it when I get off of here. You said where's my hug energy? You said Andy didn't mention that Bose attended the Met Gala too. He only mentioned Rachel. Yes, exactly. Like, don't forget me. Bose is not a fashion or niece. No. Is she taking Keely this year? Oh my gosh. Listen. Oh, no. You know, I'm not playing with y'all today. I'm not playing with you. Stop it. Y'all just don't know. I'm not. It is Sunday. It is Sunday, honey. It is first Sunday at that, you guys. You guys, did she wear that dice outfit? My Lord, y'all, please, y'all. Goodness gracious. Y'all are ruthless today. Y'all are ruthless today. Jesus. Goodness. Oh my goodness. Not and brought a briefcase, honey. Let the people ask the questions. Jesus. Oh goodness. If I were to choose between Amanda and Bose, I wouldn't go for the yeah. If it is between Amanda and Bose, I think they're going to pick Amanda. Jesus. Oh my gosh. Y'all need to stop. Her invitation is in Keely's briefcase. Andy skimmed over it so fast. He was like, whatever that means. Oh my goodness. May I say, the other live, what was that? On Thursday, when we ended up talking about casinos, like the new casinos being built here in New York. That was a very good conversation. We had a really good time. Y'all are so funny. You say you're ready for her to go. Oh, thank you. Love you right back. I'm glad you're here. I thought Bose and Garcelle would get on well, but Garcelle saw right through Bose. I knew that Bose was on some weird stuff when she was sitting up there laughing at Garcelle when Garcelle announced her exit and Erika was sitting up there saying all those nasty things in the clubhouse and Bose was sitting right there laughing because Erika was like, oh, her beach house is not even in Malibu. And for Bose to talk about the strides that Black women have made and the accomplishments of Black women, why would you allow to down a Black woman owning 2 homes? That was crazy to me. That should have been, oh no, Erika, we're not going to do that. You might not like her, but we're not going to sit up here and downplay the fact that she owns 2 properties. That's a huge deal. And girl, where is your beach house? You don't even own a home. You're renting a cabana. So knock it off. And when she sat there and allowed her to talk so poorly on Garcelle about that, I was like, oh no. Yeah, she didn't. I agree. I agree. What's your status at the bank? Erika doesn't even own a house. She doesn't. How can you? No, I know. And then when Andy asked Erika and Bose, how do you feel about Garcelle's departure? They were silent. And then Bose said, Erika, say something. Yeah, that was so corny to me. She's sitting up there and then Erika says, won't he do it? And she's laughing. It's like, really, Bose? Really? Oh, Brooke, did you say that Angel Massey has a new show on Homeworthy? Yes, I saw that. Congratulations, Angel. If you're watching, congratulations. I want to get Angel back on my channel. I do want to ask her post-show thoughts. I would love to hear from her and see how she's doing and how she's feeling and what are her thoughts. But yeah, congratulations to Angel. I think that she's better suited for that. I think that Housewives is such a beast. And I think that she gave it her all. And she's going to thrive. She's going to thrive on her new show. Good for her. Yes, on to bigger and better things. She'll do much better on there. I agree. Congrats, Angel. So she's going to, you call that, Brooke. Good for Angel. Oh, good for her. Bose is on the same ish as Anne-Marie, just a weirdo. Yes, a more positive environment. I agree. And her home in Colorado is gorgeous. Pinky Cole's former CFO just got indicted on theft and money laundering charges. What? Yes, their house tour was gorgeous. I want to hear from Angel, but I want her to bring herself, not her PR representative. I think that she'll definitely be able to talk freely. She'll be able to talk a lot freer now that she's off the show. She doesn't have to, she's not under any clauses or NDAs where she can't say anything. So I'm sure that if she were to come back on my channel for an interview, she could speak a lot more freely, which I would love. I wonder, I think they're still friends. Hope she has the directions to her new show. Angel will be fine. Yeah, she will be fine. More than fine. No, it's true. I mean, what's wrong with the PR rep? Sorry, but some people aren't good to be off the cuff like that. No, that's very true. I think that it is good to have a PR person there to tell you what not to say, because if you say the wrong thing, you'll get in trouble, or not. I don't want to say trouble, but it could be the reason why you get dragged on social media. It could, you could lose out on advertisers wanting to work with you. So it is smart to have somebody there to rein you in. So I get it. She can loosen that grip and have fun. She didn't need the show. I love to know how she's doing too. Yeah, I like Angel. They never give Angel a chance. I agree. I think that Angel deserved a second season. The fact that she was the bulk of everybody's storyline, she definitely deserved to come back, in my opinion. Yes, good media training is forever. Their internet is forever. I'm not getting up her on camera being reckless. Should ever need a better PR team and marketing team. I really wanted her to return. I agree. I'm happy for her. Yes, without Kiarna, I agree. Yes, exactly. She gave me that meme with the steering wheel. For that, I'm grateful. I'm excited for her. I mean, it feels like she's always trying to say the right thing. PR is smart, but it can detract from her personality. I feel like it's like a lose-lose situation. I mean, I saw, I did not respond to a lot of the comments that are underneath my video, the interview that I did with her. There were a lot of comments saying that they were upset by her answers. And you have to remember, she's already going through it on social media, going through it on the show, preparing for the reunion in a few weeks. Like, I felt like people were very hard on her. All of you guys watched the interview that I did with her. I appreciate y'all for watching, but I do feel like some of the comments were kind of harsh. I felt like, she is too afraid to say the wrong thing. Her PR person is in the interview with us, so she's listening. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You kind of can't win in those situations. So, but I think that now she should be a lot freer. Yeah, no, the comments, I mean, were harsh, and they were like, Brooke, I love you, but, da-da-da-da, and I was like, well, when I have a guest on, I'm not going to heart a comment trashing my guests, like, because they see the comments, and how would that look for me to comment, to heart a horrible comment about them, and they were on my channel, so I couldn't, just for that alone, I couldn't reply back, or I couldn't heart your comment if you left something really harsh about her. I said, I'll catch you in the next video, but in this video, I'm not going to do that. But I think that she was in a really tough spot. I think that she was in over her head with the show, and that's no fault to her. But I think that she came into the show thinking one thing and had no idea how much of a beast the show really is. So, no, all the housewives have a PR person on the interview. So any Bravo celebrity for any show has their PR person there. And any housewife has has the NBC Universal PR person in the interview. And let's say that I had somebody right now, like on this live right now, their PR person would be in the StreamYard chat. You won't see them, but they're in listening, and then they'd be in the comments. I have a private comment section, and they'd say, okay, Brooke, you can't ask her that. Don't say that. So-and-so don't answer Brooke's question. All of Bravo celebrities, if you get on a Bravo show and the show is a hit, you have a PR person in the interview with you. Yes, yes. She sang opera as well. She's a whole opera singer. So like there was one point where I had to cut out a few parts of the interview because like one of the questions I had asked, it was a question that you guys all wanted to know, but one of the questions that I had asked, she had answered and the PR person cut in and said, "Hey, take that out. Don't add that in there. I'm just not sure about that. It might be received the wrong way." So I just took it out. I respected their wishes. I took it out. So, oh yeah, but when those interviews, if I should score another Housewives interview with anybody who's on the show, they'll have their PR person, the NBC PR person will be in the chat, but you just don't see them. Oh yeah, and then like you had to send in your questions because people were saying, "Oh, why didn't you ask this?" And it's like, wait, first of all, that's rude. Second of all, you have no idea how tough it is to lock down an interview with a housewife, and then on top of that, NBC is not stupid. So you can't just ask them anything. They vet those questions. So I sent in like 40 questions and they vetted 20 and she answered what, 5 or 6. So yeah, it's oh yeah. Oh yeah, honey. Yeah, and listen, if you sit up there and you think that you're about to go rogue and ask something that was not approved, they will shut down that interview, and then on top of that, you'll be blackballed. So nobody has time to sit up here and be a rebel and ruin their reputation. So you have to be smart. You can't sit up here and say, "Well, I'm gonna do what I want to do." Okay, well then I won't be invited to Bravo events anymore. I'll have burned a bridge and I won't get, so it's like you either do it, you play by their rules or you don't play at all. Yep, they always screen the question. Yeah, no one wants their reputation ruined. Exactly. Exactly. They sure will. Exactly. No, it's true. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you for saying that. Thank you so much. Y'all are very sweet. No, it's true. No, it's very true. It's like, one wrong move, because, if you're sitting up there trying to appease your subscribers who want you to go rogue and come on, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that. No, but for anybody, no, but I just imagine doing something so stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny, but if this were, I'll say this. For the shows that don't get the traction of Housewives, it's a hit or a miss about like that. You don't have to vet the questions. I'll say that. I'll say that if it's a non-housewife show that's not popular and not doing well and is about to be canceled, you don't really have to vet the questions. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna just give you okay. Oh my gosh. So I mean, you sent in a few, I mean, yes, you sent in the questions, but I feel like the vetting wasn't as strict. It was like all the questions that I asked were approved, versus for a housewife, I sent in 40 questions and only 20 were approved. So, and even with the 20, I had to modify how I said things. Whereas with another show, I just asked it all and it was all approved. They were like, "Ask away, honey, ask away." Oh my. You guys have me screaming. Y'all have me screaming so bad. Y'all are yep. That's what it gave. It was like, okay, honey. Yeah. Oh my god. No, no, they didn't. So, oh wait, what happened? Oh, I didn't see what happened. I see people giving condolences, but I'm very sorry to hear. Let me go up and see. I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm very sorry for your loss. That's what it gave. That's what the vibe. Yeah, that's what the vibe gave. So, yes, that's what it gave. Oh, it's a dress. It's from ASTR, the label. I bought it from Nordstrom. Thank you. No, for real, for real. So, Steph, we're all praying for you. We're praying for you, and my condolences. Very sorry for your loss. And I hope you feel a little bit better on here today. May his memory be a blessing. Yes. My deepest condolences. Oh, good. I'm happy. I'm happy I could do that. Yes, you will be in our thoughts tomorrow. And you have the whole chat. The whole chat is sending you a lot of love. Everybody's so sweet in the chat. Oh yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, I will say though that now that you guys mention it, I would like to have Angel back on the channel, and she'll be able to talk freely, and there won't be a PR person having to oversee anything because she's no longer employed by NBC now. So, oh, thank you. We try to be the best chat on YouTube. It's a nice community, a very nice community. But yeah, guys, that was the recap, and that was some behind the scenes tea, honey. Yeah, you guys behaved a little bit though, a little bit. Oh, I love y'all. Not Brooke wanting the tea. Yeah, I do want the tea, and I know I do. I do want to hear what are her thoughts. Does she regret joining the show? Does she feel like she was robbed of a second season? Did they offer her a contract, but they gave her such a horrible offer money wise? Like, I want to know. I think Angel will come back. I will reach out to Angel, y'all. I would like for Angel to come back and on the channel and talk. I want the tea from Angel too. Yes, yes. Yes, honey, a beautiful, caring community. Yes. Brooke, did you see Andy's comment to who? Oh, to Bose's clapback video. Yes, I saw his comments. I think that Andy was playing it cool. I think he's pissed at her doing a whole video trying to get him together. I saw that he said to her, "Oh, consider me like seated." He said, like, consider me like whatever. He said, consider me red. He said something like that in the comments. And then she was like, "Oh no, love you, Andy." I don't know. I think that Bose is on thin ice. I think she's on thin ice. You said not me being the only one not caring. I think it was split between when it came to her on Potomac. And listen, that's okay. Everybody has different opinions on who they like, who they don't like, but I do think that Angel deserved a second season on the show. I really do. Bowles needs management and guidance. She's going about this all wrong. I agree. Bowles always riding the fence and riding the broke man with the suit briefcase. I was like, who's Moses? You say you didn't either. Good luck on whatever she's doing now, not just on RHOP. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted her to come back without K too. Andy said, girl, whatever. Bose, please delete these videos. Now, Bose needs a PR team. Well, she has the NBC PR team for when she does an interview. You said you work with a lot of Bose types working in big tech. Some of the things I want to say are kitchen table talk. I think things played out the way it should have for Angel. Housewives is too much for her. I think so too. I think that this show could have destroyed her family. And I think that maybe, I think that sometimes it's best to leave. It's best to leave on a high note, leave before things go south. And, she tried it out. It didn't really work out. She did make for some great TV though, because the Colorado trip will go down as one of the most iconic trips ever in all of Housewives history. So I think that she tried it. It wasn't for her. Now she's on to better with her beautiful family in tow. Yes, I agree. You said the NBC PR team must treat her like how? No, not at all. Because remember, about Boz, they must treat her like they treat the I'm screaming. Child, I don't think that she's consulting with the team when she does these clapback videos on Instagram. I don't think she's consulting with anybody. She just goes off and does it. But yeah, it is giving that, they are giving her that treatment, because anybody else, they would be like, girl, take that clapback video down. But I think that because they probably don't care for her on Beverly Hills either, like, girl, you know what? Do what you want to do. Dig your own grave. If do whatever, honey. Dig yourself into this hole. You said the PR team wants her to fail. You said no high note, but good TV. I'm still picturing her driving and gripping that steering wheel. When's Kitchen Table Talk going to be hosted? I'm ready to get my ticket. No phones, y'all. Yeah, I don't see her. I don't see things going well if she stays on this show for more seasons. Boz is a CFO. She doesn't need PR. Jesus. Not Miss Corporate, not consulting with the team. She needs to. Beverly Hills has been so boring. The PR team will take whatever drama they can get. That's true too. You said the experience is still here for you. I do not care about Boz's wedding next season. I don't either. I'm going to tell you that right now. You said, Brooke, this isn't on top of it. Will you be going to Candy's I Did, I'm Done at City Winery? I don't think so. I'm not interested. We need a house husband show. I would like to hear from the sisters that work with Boz. Child, we all know that team is not talking to her because it's like, they're like, you're going to be here for 2 minutes and that's about it. I watched the finale the other day and died at her gripping the steering wheel for dear life. You said, will he even pay for the cutlery? Boz is hoping for the wedding special. Bravo stopped doing those wedding specials years ago. So they stopped doing it with Eva when Eva Marcel got married to Mike. So, and Cynthia got married to Mike Hill. They're not doing those wedding specials anymore. You're lucky if they show 5 minutes of your wedding and that's it. They've stopped with that. You said from Sam's Club. Y'all are terrible. Baby, all that man's paying for is his hair. Thank you so much. Rose's time is up. Child. Well, not a wedding special, but like Eve got, it was like 30 minutes of the episode. So I feel like they're not even doing that anymore. Like the weddings are now maybe 2 minutes of the episode. So I think that by the time Boz finally gets married to Keely, which might be in 2029, I don't think that they're going to be showcasing that. They might show 2 seconds of Erika being the DJ and that's it. Yeah, Jazzy didn't get 5 minutes. Jazzy got 2. They didn't even show her walking down the aisle. They showed Wendy, Ashley, and Stacey sitting down as guests, and that was it. Then it was like, here comes the bride, and then she's walking down, and then they said, okay, cut to the next scene with Giselle in Potomac. So, just saying. Exactly. They didn't even show Jazzy's wedding. They literally showed Stacy, Megamind, and 77. Oh, you said Erica's not going to DJ. Erika might even sing grand opening, grand closing, honey. 2 seconds in the end of the season blurb, honey. Jazzy got nothing. I know she cried when she saw that. Erika being the DJ will not get it on the show. Yes, it was very much blink if you and you might miss it. It would not. She doesn't have that star quality. Like, she's not a legendary housewife. She's not. No, nobody cares. And then look at who she's getting married to. The whole fan base is like, girl, are you kidding me? So nobody's watching that. All those blurred faces at Jazzy's wedding. Yes, even and you know Kyle was pissed because Kyle's like, wait, I'm the favorite. You know Kyle just knew that Alexia's wedding was going to get at least 10 minutes. She probably felt like me and Mauricio paid all this money for this wedding. We paid $1 million for this wedding, and it only got 10 seconds in the last episode, in the finale episode. I know Kyle was pissed. Kyle knew that wedding was going to make a huge chunk of the episode, and it got 10 seconds, a blip on the screen. Oh, thank you so much. Erika will be singing "It's Expensive to Be Me," and Kelly will be singing along. Oh no! Those blurred faces, man. Don't show me in this BS. Yes, we are on the same wavelength. We are, you and I. We are here. We are one. That is exactly who I'd compare her to as a housewife. Yes. And we said that she was 188, so that means that she's 190, 191, very much so, very non-factor. Like, it's no shade. All I saw were sticks, like, no shade. That's the perfect we're going perfect comparison. The perfect comparison. Oh my gosh, yes. You said you at least, okay, yes, that's true too. Yes, at least Gertie's likable. I agree. Child. You said no invite for Andy, no segment. I want to see Amanda's big wedding. Child. You said dirt and grass, honey. Bro, I don't really care about weddings anymore. People get married every day, B. That's exactly how they feel. And that's being generous. That's too high. That's being generous. I'm sticking with 189. The highest I would say is, the nicest I'll be is say 177. This is too high. This is too high, friend. That's too high. That's too high. 177 that's the most I can do. Thank you, Jameer. Thank you. I'm like, honey, there's a curve, and then there's a steep. That's not even a curve. Like, you are just saying, okay, here you go. Like, that's just being super generous. And you know that's not, friend, you know that's not true. You know that ranking is too high. That's the real truth of the matter. Oh my gosh. Child, y'all have me screaming. Yeah, that's we see each other. We see each other. Yes, that's the truth. Yes, honey, that's a here damn ranking. Yes, because at least Sutton gave you Name 'Em, Let the Mouse Go, and ugly leather pants. Like, Sutton has given, so like, I have to be fair. Like, can't stand Sutton, but I have to give Sutton her things. I have to give Sutton her due. And Sutton's been, we're grading on, you know, the time, you know, how long you've been on the show. She has 6 seasons under her belt. This one only has 2 seasons. Yeah, so, you know, Sutton has given a few things. Yes, I will give her that. Sutton has had her moments. If I would put Sutton at like 111, 112. It can go left or it can go right. Sutton and her slacks, honey. Yeah, I'll give Sutton her threes for that, honey. Yeah, Sutton having the meltdown at Magic Mike. That was also iconic. And those white slacks from Chico's and those Gucci loafers. Stop. Like, that was a moment. Her crying and crashing out over those men at Magic Mike not wanting her. That was like, it's like she gave us moments. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Sutton did some shopping. Yeah, Sutton bought stuff. Sutton will buy things. When she goes shopping, she bought the Bentley. She bought her Bentley on the show. She bought the brand new house in Bel Air on the show. She was paying Kyle 25 grand a month when she was renting Kyle's Bel Air home that Amanda now owns. We would see her buy Hermes flatware. She'd buy Birkins. We saw her drop some stacks at Dolce & Gabbana in Italy with Jennifer Tilly. So it's like, we're going off of that. I got to give Sutton a cute 111 to 115. I'm going to give her that. Yeah, exactly. And guzzle down that free champagne. Yeah, she bought her horse. Exactly. Yes, honey. She said she was on the board of the American Ballet Foundation, honey. Sutton also had her moment in Barcelona last season or the season before that when she had her dear friend Merce in the urn. Like, she's given us some moments. So that counts for something. Yes, she bought the diamonds with her daughter Porter. She bought those diamond earrings and she sure did. Yeah, so Sutton has given us something. I will give her that. What's Teddy's ranking? Yep, Merce is in the purse. Yes. She's definitely in the 120s. Teddy's definitely one. If I'm being nice, Teddy's like 175. If I'm being nice, Teddy's 175. You said Teddy is last. Oh, no. I'm not playing with y'all. You said 173, 287, clicking down. Teddy's 199. Teddy's at the bottom. 198 for the Nat. Being too nice. Not you calling me out, friend. Teddy's 199. Teddy's 190. Jesus. Ask Alexander Rogers where Teddy is. Teddy is in area code 2. Teddy is 175. Yep, she's definitely 300. You said I thought you'd put her after Bose. I feel like Teddy, I feel like, did Teddy have a moment? I feel like Teddy's had a few moments. No? I feel like Teddy gave more than, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, you see the sun? You see the sun coming in? Every time I hear Alexander Rogers, I hear Arabella. Teddy has 0 moments, except for Erika. She let Erika make her cry. She gave nothing. More annoyance, the silence. Yeah, I was going to say low 160s or high 170s for Teddy. Yes, I think so. She gave nothing. If you got to think that's your answer. Yes, you said, yes, Kyle impersonated Teddy. That was Teddy's moment. Yes, okay, so I'll give her that. The girls would imitate her. So Teddy's best moment was getting read by Sutton. The fact that none of us could think of any Teddy moments. But I feel like because Teddy would always be in a lot of drama, I feel like you had Erika cursing her out. I feel like because she did have drama, she still has done more than, in my opinion, no Teddy moments for her father. Teddy gave tears. Sutton was amazing when she had Garcelle. Teddy was a bone carrier. Her kids were cute. Teddy's dad is John Cougar Mellencamp, and that's her moment. Teddy was only so mentioned because Tamara's been crying about her. She was relevant, yes. That's true. I'll give her that. Yes. Yes. Teddy got chewed up by Erika and Sutton. Teddy was a bone carrier that was terrible at it. Yeah, she was a bone carrier. She was. So selective amnesia when she got chewed out. Yes. Yes, all her iconic moments came from people coming for her. That's very true. I want to see with Teddy's husband. Teddy was an accountability coach. That's it. And that was a fake job. That wasn't even her real job. She made that up for the show, she later admitted. I think Stacey's going into her third season. I think Stacey's definitely a top 100 housewife for sure. I think Stacey, we can't put her so high only because she's still so new, but Stacey's top 100. Stacey from Potomac is top 100 for sure. For sure. Who said I want to sleep with her husband? Eddie is cute, but damn, girl. Well, they're not married anymore. Teddy and Edwin, they're divorced, and so she revealed that he cheated on her in their marriage. He slept with one of her best friends, and that's why she got her lick back and cheated with the horse trainer. Top 90. Stacey's top 90. I agree. I see 89 to 98 for Stacey. Yeah. Give Stacey 3 more seasons. I feel like you can't give a housewife that high of marks if she has not completed 5 seasons. So I think that give Stacey 3 more seasons and she will be up high to like top 30. Her power rankings are going up. Stacey's in the 70s for me. Yes, I think that's the highest we can give Stacey right now. I think top 70 is fair. I think so too. I'm screaming. She's still going to rise. Teddy's husband looked weird to me in the eyes. He was not cute. They divorced. Yeah, they divorced, honey. She got with that horse trainer and he got with her best friend. I dare say 60s right now. Okay, she's in the 60s to 70s for me. Talk about impact. Talk about moments. Talk about Arabella. Who will be 200? I think Bose, Ebony K. Williams, Anna Marie, Diana Jenkins. Yeah. Stacey's finger pointing alone got her in the ranks. What about Jizzy? Jizzy's top 30. Giselle is top 30 housewife. Yeah, Teddy got more interesting after she left. Yeah. Oh, a mess. And the horse trainer wasn't even cute. It was like, girl, a mess. Yeah, Deshaun Snow is definitely, yeah. Deshaun Snow, yes. Jenny Wynn from SLC, she's also in the 200s, like the 200 to 209. That's where they all are. Yeah, she's an icon. Giselle's an iconic villain. Yeah. Oh yeah, we all agreed in the last live. Go back and watch last Thursday's live. Aviva throwing her prosthetic leg. Jenny is 255. Kay in that picture frame is close to 200. The racist girl from Dallas. Oh, yes, Cameron Westcott from Dallas. Yes, the Dallas girls are all in the 200s. Now, hold on. When they canceled Dallas, I will say that whole storyline with Brandy, the redhead, and her husband, that was a mess. Because, the rumor about them was that, remember how they adopted the little boy and he also had red hair as well? The streets were saying that it was his mistress allegedly, and she was adopting the mistress's kids allegedly. But yeah, honey, that mess with Brandy and her husband cheating on her, and she had to admit that on the final reunion, that was a mess. And they're still married, a mess. I felt sorry for Brandy. She has so much going on. You could tell she was just so, like, I felt sorry for her. She had very low self-esteem. Her husband was always gone. Just a mess. Yes, a true Southern mess. Oh, something Rula would do. A mess, honey. Tiffany Moon's in the 100s. She was the best one on Dallas. I liked her. I liked her too. Like only in the South do they cheat like that. Jesus. Well, y'all, I'm about to call it a day on here. I will see you all tomorrow, Lord willing, for Atlanta and Rhode Island. I'm going to try to do back-to-back recaps because, you know, Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo, Wednesday is my birthday. So y'all won't be seeing me. So I'm trying to knock these recaps out. But I'm going to end the live here. We're going to chat for Atlanta and, Lord willing, Rhode Island as well tomorrow. And I will see you all for a full day tomorrow, okay? So, guys, are we going to do a Met Gala review for Boz and Sutton? I don't know about that, friend. But, y'all, I will see you all tomorrow, Lord willing. Have a great rest of your evening, guys. And I will see you all later. Bye, guys.